there. Hope everyone's having a good day. I was just like, go live, and I like realized I was in the wrong game still. So it put me into Stardew Valley, even though I clearly changed it to Animal Crossing. In like one place, it didn't appear in the other, and it showed as wrong. I just love when it does. It's that kind of a day, honestly. You know, the kind of a day where you have it and it's just like everything seems to go wrong. Everything's crappy. It was one of those days where like work ran over, I was late, I like had terrible a terrible work day. Like the kind of day where like you'll have a shit day and then you get home and like you'll be eating something and one part of it will fall on the ground and you just sit down on the ground, pick it up, eat it, and then just start crying. Like it's one of those kinds of crappy days where you're just like inexplicably like, but why? Why is the day this bad? Why is the day happening this disastrously? It's exactly like that. Which, you know, happens, I guess. I even have a headache that just like appeared out of nowhere after work. I was like, at least it didn't happen during work, you know? Like, you don't want it to happen during, because then you're just like, you're stuck with like suffering through the pain while like being present, and you're just like, I want you to be done, I want it to be over, I want to go home, I want to like sleep. Like that's the kind of day it was. So I came to a decision about my island, because I like was in love with my island. I was like, I want to keep it, I want to like make a second island so I can keep my main island. Not anymore, I'm bored. I'm bored with it, and I'm like, I keep doing stuff on my main island, and like, even though I'm doing some stuff on this one, it's kind of like, it's on my main one, a lot of what I'm doing there is just like building up from the ground up, you know, and like, I'm thinking I'm gonna do like some of the starter stuff on there just on my own time, like whenever I have time, and then like when I get to the point of like hunting for a villager, I'll do it on stream. We'll have a stream of like getting the villagers up, doing their area, like, and doing some decorating all in one day. So like that'll be like a thing I do on a whole separate day. I'll plan for it. But I'm thinking, because I'm like, I do love my island, and I do like it, but I've placed everything. I've hidden all my gnomes. There's literally nowhere else I could think of to hide more gnomes. I've literally run out of ideas for where to hide them. And I'm like, great. And it's not like deleting, like flattening my island is gonna like ruin the dream address, because I'm not gonna write over it until I've replaced all my gnomes. Once I've placed all the gnomes again, I'll update it. But I've decided that this is the final version of my dream address. Once I like make it, then I'm gonna start flattening. I've come to that conclusion because I have some ideas that I want to try out, and it involves like just destroying everything, essentially. So I'm just like, cool. Guess we're doing that next. So I just was like, because I'm kind of done with where the island is now. I've had my fun with it. It doesn't suck. I've made a full thing, but I'm just like, I want to redo a lot now, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna like figure out. We're gonna plan. There's gonna be a lot of planning involved. I'm basically gonna leave the staircases, the ones that aren't in like weird places. So like I'll leave the ones near the entrance. I'll leave the ones. I think I'm gonna leave the one up to like Watson and Sherlock's place just for convenience for the moment. I'll leave that one where it is, and like the ones up to the museum. Those are practically it. Everything else is gonna go, because I'm gonna leave one path to the museum from the base, just for my own like personal convenience. But basically all the others are gonna get removed, because I don't think they're gonna be there permanently. I'm actually making a different way to get to the town hall, because most of the time when I do I don't do tours, I do dream addresses. So I'm actually like I'll make sure to do a full tour of my island before I start destroying it. Like, I'll record a full tour version of my island, exploring everything, seeing all the houses, going through the entire island. And I'll record it, and I'll save it, and, like, that'll be it for my island, like, my island. But apart from that, like, moment with my island, I think, yeah, I'm basically done with it. Because I like doing the thing where I'm getting all the villager photos, and I will make another foresty area, but it's gonna be different. So, because I want to keep one of the Spirited Away elements, so I'm going to make Emma's house into Yubaba's, like the Spirited Away area, that it's gonna be her house. So I've got a couple ideas with that, and I'm gonna keep Totoro. I'm gonna keep the tiny little pictures of Ghibli things around the island, but the rest of it I don't need. Oh, and No Face's picture, of course. I gotta keep No Face, because, like, Spirited Away. I'm gonna have No Face just on the island. So I've got some ideas with all that, but everything else is kind of gonna be, like, change. And that's basically, like, making another forest area, because I'm gonna move the forest entirely. It's gonna get moved. And this one's going to be more mushroom based, I think. This one will be a little more mushroom, have a lot more mushrooms on the island. So it'll be a lot more like a fungal mine area. So, like, I'm making my mine. I'm keeping the beach mine, because I just built it and I love my mine. So for the moment, the mine is staying where it is and how it is. It's the only thing that's not getting taken down. My market is going to get moved. So the market is still going to exist in a form, but it's moving entirely. It's going somewhere else. So it's going to be completely different. And the villager area is going to possibly change as well. So it might become, like, I'm still thinking it over with parts. I've got some ideas, but I like the fact that I'm making some more ideas and changes. So I'm like, yes. Most of the houses for my main villagers are gonna, like, my human ones, are gonna stay where they are. Because I'm fine with where they are. They're perfectly fine there for the moment. Especially my main one, it suits that area perfectly, so no matter what, it's staying. Emma's is going to move, because it has to. And the museum, because that's where Emma's house is going to go, is going to get moved. Because I want to hide the museum this time. I think I want to use dinosaurs and make a little, like, enclosed, like, cutoff area that's, like, hiding the museum. I still have to figure out where I'm putting Nooks and Mabels, so when I flatten everything, I might end up moving them back to where they were when I first had the island, which was, like, right near the entrance, to figure out what the hell I want to do with them before I place them. But I'll probably just leave everything where it is until I plan out everything, because I'm going to use my tiles. My tiles have a purpose. I'm going to use my tiles to plan everything out. So I'm going to keep a couple of each of the non-normal flowers. I'm going to keep basically all the yellow mums, because I want to use them for mum cushions, I think, because I'm going to need a bunch of those. Personal thought. So those ones are staying. The mums aren't getting sold. I'm keeping all of the hybrid ones. But I'm going to, like, enclose them off and let them sit there until I decide what I'm doing with them. So I'm probably not gonna, I'm just gonna make, like, a flower area and, like, close off all the flowers so the flowers can't spread. Because I'm like, I don't need extra flowers. I'm probably gonna make one of my beaches into a flower storage. So when I destroy the Spirited Away area, that is my hot spring that's near Darcy's and George's there, and the area near Campbell's house, are going to become basically flower storage. And any of the flowers that are outside, that'll just sit in, like, a little area that I close off. So I'm not getting rid of the flowers, because I'm like, I might need the flowers. And so when I come around to decorating, when it reaches the point of, like, do I need this flower? No. Okay, I'll sell you now. That's about it. That's all I've really come to with it. Hey, thanks for the follow, Wolfie, the teacup. I mean, I've never met a teacup that's a wolf before, but, you know, now I have. Hope you're having a good day. Are you enjoying Animal Crossing? Oh, if you play, that is. If you don't play, do you just enjoy watching? I have some dailies to do with like this one because all the materials for this one are in Watson's storage. So we're gonna do dailies that I have to do for my villagers, and then we're gonna finish the decorating that needs to happen for finish the decorating that needs to happen on one of the beaches. Move a day. Save the dream address. After I find the fossils, like for that day, and you find that day's fossils, do the rocks, do those like couple of things at the beginning of the day, and then it'll be a moment of like, save it. Time to save it. Also, you may know me from Discord. I mean, do you have the same name on Discord? I realized that I'm not in game and chat. Hello. I mean, do you have the same name on Discord? Cause I'm okay. Fun story. I'm in like 100 Discords. Actually 100. Like, I literally delete Discords every once in a while. Just to join new ones. Like, it's that bad. Wolfie Strawberry. That is very quiet. I don't know if that's very quiet for everyone else, but it was quietish for me. Maybe it's because I have my headphones on. It's probably headphones, yeah. Let's see. Do you happen to know which Discord? which actual Discord it'd be from? Cause I'm in a lot of them. Like ignore that. Yeah, here it is. So like I'm like literally at the cap of Discords. So I don't know if you have an idea which one. As like, hey, this is the one you know me from. If not, I can have a look later, but hi, nice to see you. Just talking to Bob and Buck. And we spoke with Buzz. Fun story most people don't know is I actually have like an actual list of things that I do each day with my characters. Like an actual one. And they're like, oh yeah, I have a checklist. I'm like, yeah, I have a checklist too. Like, it's a full-blown list that I make for each and every single character that I have. And I'm like, until they fulfill it, I won't take it off. Peanut. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 9 people that Peanut. Nice, congratulations on redeeming first. I hope you enjoy it and all of the benefits of being first. By the way, did I have breakfast? I mean, no. So I slept in really late. Like super late. I woke up at like 9:30, which is bad because normally I'd have work on a Tuesday, and so I'd have to wake up at like 7 a.m. Most days of the week I have work at 7, so I have to get up at 7. But I don't on Tuesday because I have uni before I go to work, so I was able to wake up at 9:30, and I didn't have breakfast because I didn't have time before work. Well, like before uni classes, and then I had like a small window of time to like scull a noodle cup before I had to go to work. And I didn't take a break during work, and so my first like full meal was like dinner when I got home at like 5 o'clock. Yeah, no worries. You have fun. Have fun with your friends. I hope you have a blast. No, thanks for stopping by. But yeah, work was this like mild tedium across the day. Cause I know that like you're supposed to get like a job you love, but I'm getting one that like financially will help me through next year. I'm kind of hoping it gets, like, our work hasn't gotten extended yet, and I'm kind of hoping it does. So that way, because I'm like, most of the people there, they need it for, like, that's the job they do, like, for, like, whatever time they keep the job. Me, I'm looking at it as, like, I'd like it if it got extended. Am I gonna be, like, hurt if it does? No. Like, not fully, but I would love it if it stuck around longer. That'd be great. Purely for financial reasons. But I'm looking at, like, what will I do if it does go away? You know? You know where you, like, you prepare for the, like, the inevitable, for, like, the upcoming disaster? I don't know what everyone does. Most people are like, oh my god, it's gonna be great for, like, ETA. And you're like, no. But I greatly appreciate your thought of like, it's gonna be great forever. It's not. It's also like I have to wait for 2 trees to grow in-game. Like, in-game, like 2 trees have to grow. Unless someone will let me like buy. Am I selling anything right now? Yeah, let's sell a couple things. Just not the coconuts. Paper cat, sand dollar, carrot, bye-bye. Yeah, so it's just like financial, you know where you like, you take something and you're like, it sucks, and you don't like it, and you're like, I want it to go away. But it's like financially you have to stay there, even though it like burns your soul. It kind of makes me feel like that. Caliber shovel. I really hate this shovel. You know, like the printed shovel is my favorite, followed by the one that's the like solid color, the outdoor shovel. You know, the outdoor items. Like I've debated just like buying tons of them and keeping them for when my stuff breaks, because I'm like, I don't want to have the color ones. The colorful ones kind of suck. Like, I know they're good for like kid core stuff, but they're just really ugly. I can't help but feeling they're just like truly ugly. Just not cute. Let's see, my address. So these are all things that are going to the other island. So I gotta like, in my own spare time, like have every villager catalog each of these items. Because I'm trying to make sure they can all get like the full catalog, and I'm like, well, I'm slowly working through buying the full catalog for them, for like the other island. And there's some stuff I gotta like hunt down to give them. You know, like where you're like, oh my god, there's these really cute items and like DIY things I want to make from, but then like only your main island has them, so you have to just make a ton of them and just take them over. And you're like, why did I do this to myself? Because you still have to like individually craft every item. It's just a bit too sunny. Like, I understand like for lighting purposes it's garbage, but my headache is just like a bit too cute with that level of lighting. I'm terribly sorry if it looks like I'm hiding out in some kind of gothic emo room, but we're just gonna have to live with like more mildly shit lighting today. Because the pain pills are doing absolutely nothing. Makes me think that like maybe I've built up a tolerance to them or something. You know, where it's like all those medications are like, this medication is super useful, it does so much, it's so helpful, and then it like stops working. And you're like, why? What was the point in me getting something that finally worked for you to just stop working? I don't know. It's just like a thought I have amongst myself. Now, what villager have I missed seeing? Because there's apparently a villager on this list I've missed. I've spoken with Solale, found Buzz, found Fauna, found Buck, found Kurt, Sheldon. Kid, of course. Kid is like what I like to call the ultimate hider. You know that one village you have that no matter how hard you look for them, they just somehow manage to, like, evade you. It's nothing personal. They're always like, oh my god, hi, how you doing? It's been so long. Where were you? And you're like, I was looking for you. Literally all day. Literally all day, all I did was do a Where's Waldo, but on my island looking for this village. You know that's one advantage of when I flatten this whole thing? Is I'm gonna be able to, like, find them so easily. You wanna why? There's gonna be nowhere for them to hide. Absolutely nowhere. This whole, like, oh my god, I wonder if it'll be difficult to find villages when your island is flat. This reminds me of, like, early on. We're not moving. No, I still like, I like Booyah. Keep it. You're not changing your catchphrase. Sorry, man. Okay, found him. Never mind. Found the dear old pal. He was just having a mood, you know? He was like, you know what I gotta do? I'm gonna go think over here. It's like out of this window where Fuchsia would just, like, come over here and just sit. Just randomly. For, like, ages. Like, early on in my island. She was just like, you can't find me. We're playing hide and go seek, but it's where's Fuchsia? So Fuchsia's been that way. Kid is most definitely that way. Like, look at this smug guy. He's not concerned. He's like, oh, I see what you're doing there. I'm just gonna walk away before you can do anything. Anything at all that you want to do. It's not happening today. We're just walking away from this moment. The tomfoolery of this man. The tomfoolery. No, literally, there's this one day I had. Full day. Full actual, like, real world day. I was like, screw it. We're gonna, like, I'm gonna find Kid. First thing, we're gonna have a chat. Could not find. This is early on when almost the whole island was flat. The whole island was flat. There was nowhere to hide. I had, like, one bridge, no water. Like, I'd made all these cliffs with no staircases. You couldn't get up on the cliffs. You couldn't hide in the orchard. You couldn't hide behind a tree. I didn't have any trees on the main area. And I made sure to run behind all the bamboo. He wasn't hiding there. But I literally couldn't find him. I went searching the museum, his house. I actually figured out the time he leaves his house is 9 o'clock, right? So I time traveled back in time on the same day. I waited. And I went to 8:58. And I sat outside his house. I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch him come out. It turned to 9 o'clock. His light didn't turn on. He didn't come out. He didn't wake. I was like, I waited till 9:05 standing in front of his house and nothing happened. So I was like, great, cool. I, like, save the game, and as I'm saving, he leaves his house. And then I'm like, oh my god, he's here. Go back in the game. He's, like, fled. He's like, I'm out having fun. Come find me. I'm like, I will come find you. I will find you. You want to know where he was in the end? In the end, he'd found this tiny secret path I had around the back of the whole island to get around when I briefly had a river and, like, one bridge. I could get the entire way around the back to the sea, like the secret beach, because I didn't want to have to keep climbing up and down. He was sitting back there on a rock. He'd found this secret passage. So the next thing I did was I shoved him all the way out of the passage, pissing him off, and I put a fence. I was like, no one's getting back there now. Good luck. So I put fences on both sides of both levels of my secret pathway. I was like, ha ha ha. No one's going back there now, because they kept doing that. They kept hiding back there on that tiny pathway of nothing. And I was like, this can't possibly be the most interesting place on the island for you guys to come hide. It just can't be. I obviously haven't taught you guys enough not to go back here. So today we're going to buy the antique furniture. Let's see, so I need a bunch of money. Okay, money. Because we're trying to get one of every single item to, like, mail, like, hand over to the other village. Let's say 400,000, and we'll just put back what we don't need. It's gonna be that simple, because I know I have to. I think the first thing is buying the antique bed, because not every villager on my island has every single item cataloged, and so my main villager has to keep filling in the blanks. Oh yeah, I forgot that was there. Which is fine. I'm eventually gonna buy them all everything, so it's gonna work out perfectly fine. And it's a bit analog. Yeah, those are the colors she has. And tentacle. And thurium. Because most of them are like, oh yeah, we only have one color of this item. Or like, we have two. The exception is the antique furniture, the like imperial furniture, and the I think the cute furniture I did this with. There was like 3 or 4 furniture sets that I sat all of each one of them out. And I made sure. I made positively sure that they all had them all cataloged, because they were the most. I was buying a lot of each of those items, and then I just let's see. I did natural and brown, natural, cool. Why did I just put all this? That's gonna drive me mentally. I'm not even sorry about all the typing. Black. Okay. Because they all gotta buy them eventually. This is the kind of thing where it's just like, it's just tedious. It's just a tedium. Done. Haven't found that yet. And that's done. Okay. I have a lot of money in my pockets now. Okay, we're dropping some money. I was like, oh yeah, I'm done with the machine. Buy a machine. No, not the case. I've got to like deposit like 240,000. Let's make it 230,000. There we go, 87,000. And I still haven't found the money rock for the day, so that's gonna increase. But the thing is, I also gotta like buy a bunch of clothes for her and shoes, because you know where you've got that villager and you're like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make sure that like I have all of the clothing that she needs. I might not buy all the clothing. I think I just want to buy like 2 of the colors of boot, because I realized I didn't buy a couple of the colors that like would go well with her outfits. I only bought like gray, and she's like clearly very pink, red. Like I put a lot of red, blue, and pink on her, and all I have for her is the black shoes. And I'm like, yeah, I know I occasionally like use black shoes as like a compliment with those things, but they're not like usually the main color I go with for her. Because I gave each of these villagers a color palette, and black just ain't hers. Okay. That's why I forgot I placed him there. I have all these gnomes that I forgot I placed them around the place, because I placed 56 of them. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm looking forward to placing you all again, because I'm not selling any of these gnomes. There's some things that I will sell, but the gnomes ain't one of them. You know where you like redo an island and you're just like, there's many things that I need to remove from this space, but this one thing isn't going to be one of them, and you're like, yeah. And then you keep it forever, and you never use it again. Well, that is not going to be the case in this instance. Okay, do I actually like this? No. And do I like... I swear I've sold this exact shirt from her storage. I was like, I hate it so much. I'm gonna sell it, but I definitely didn't get her one of these. Okay, well, not the pants. The pants can go away. She has all of these. It's just not the security uniform. Because I thought about getting them all security uniforms. Okay, we're gonna get you all with the yellow. Because look at this ski hood color. You're just like, yeah, it's a ski mask. And supposedly, I assume, for like the winter season with skiing. I don't know if you can actually put glasses over the top. No, you can't. what's the point of that if you can't put glasses over the top of it? You know, because, like, you put the goggles. It's like you put the ski mask thing, then you put the goggles, then you have, like, your hood that pulls up to, like, protect your ears. I assume that was the original purpose of these things. You can't even put goggles over it. What a disappointment. So what we're gonna get is these white, the red, the pink, probably green, or blue and purple. So basically everything but yellow. Because yellow ain't her color. I don't even know what's falling down over there. I'm good. I don't need to know. So I'm just not getting these two shirts. But I might get the blue and the red of the tweed shirt. You know where you like do a thing and you're like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. This item here, I'm not shopping. Shopping, you say? Doing a mass amount of shopping as part of my my daily things to do? No idea what you're talking about. I know George is basically gonna buy none of this. But I just copy and paste for the list of things. Now, do I actually want this red one? It's very bright. I think I'm gonna get all four of those except this one. Like, the yellow one can just, like, go away. It's not happening. I absolutely hate that red color. Like the yellow color ski mask. The ski mask color is very bright. And I don't understand why it's so bright. Like, are normal ski masks that bright? As someone who does not own or operate a ski mask in their general daily life, I've got to ask, is it like a thing that occurs? I still don't know if I'm actually going to use these boots. But we're getting the pink ones anyways, because they're pink. Okie dokie, got vest. I use this as like a fun way to keep track. Yeah, cool. So it's all going into my storage currently. The big worry is when it goes into my pockets and I have to go, oh yeah, cool. What are we selling today? Like all the cool items that I could use on the island? Excellent. Oh yeah, we're doing this. Security. Security, where are you at? Okay. Do I actually need the green for this period? I don't think I need the green. But I think I need the purple. Yep. 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 Now, I'm purely buying the like, 5. Done. Cool. I know this is probably all very tedious, but it is what I count in my dailies, you know? It would be less tedious if you could just mass purchase from Able, you know? Like, oh hey, you want to buy this, like, 12 different items? Cool. Which are the ones, you know, like, because you could actually select in so many of these games. You're like, oh, are you done with this thing? And you're like, yeah. No, I'm totally done with, like, with this thing. All I just did was, like, it's actually a thing in games. So many games where you select all the things you want to buy, right? And then you pick the ones that you want to actually put on. You decide, like, you pick and choose which parts you actually want to wear. It's an actual function in a lot of games where you have cosmetics. Not in this game, apparently. This one you gotta, like, individual. So, I need to keep 10 of each of these fruit, and then I can sell the rest. So this is the villager that has to pick them all. I'm keeping all my pumpkins for the moment. So basically the pumpkin, I have to move all of the pumpkins. Like every single pumpkin. You know what a team that is? It's like, hey, how'd you spend your day? Oh, I moved like a bajillion pumpkins. Oh, you moved a bajillion pumpkins? Yeah, no. 100% moved a bajillion pumpkins. I might end up actually switching the pine trees, right? Because I'm like, I want to have like a fully grown pine tree where this one pine, or like a partially grown where this one pine tree is. Don't know why I did that. We've got a stick. do. Yep, because I think I want to also like keep the little fairy forest, but like make it tinier. And I'm gonna have a rock garden, which is gonna be the biggest pain in the ass. Which is why the area that is Sherlock and Watson's area is probably gonna stay almost exactly the way it is until I decide what I want to do that area / the neighboring areas. It'll be this pain in the ass moment of like, oh cool, well what we're doing today is we're moving Sherlock and Watson's house because we are decorating, and what we need to do goes straight through their houses. So what we have to do is just casually destroy the rocks and move them. Oh man, that's gonna be a rough day. It's gonna be rough. Thankfully, almost all of them are a little separate, so it's not gonna be too big a deal, but it's gonna be enough of a pain in the ass. What am I doing? What are you doing here, Fuchsia? Where the hell is this? Oh my god, it's all the way back here. Dear God, Fuchsia, can you like sing somewhere else? Fuchsia just does this to irk me. She picks a very inconvenient spot to like stand and sing, and then she'll like tee hee hee, I'm so great, and you're like, no, not today. Go stand somewhere else. Cause you also gotta be like aware of these drop stars I have all over the place. Cause I was just like, yeah, I can drop a star wherever. But you gotta pick each of them up when you like shake the trees for the fruit, because they're directly underneath some of them, and you don't want the fruit to just like kapoof. I'd like to know, like, have a notification of like, hey, if you shake this, your fruit will disappear into the ether. You know, you'll shake it, you'll be like, oh my god, I'm gonna get this fruit and it's gonna make this thing. It's like, OMG. And then the fruit, when you shake it, it just like kapoofs as it hits the ground, and you're like, oh my god, no. Not again. My dear sweet fruit. Who has done this to you? Oh, I've done this to you? Oh, okay, cool. Glad we had that chat. Do. Ba, 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 ba. All the fruit. All the endless fruit. Is there actually no behind there? Is an actual mountain behind there? Okay. Never mind. Nobody panic. I'm getting there. Oh boy. The tedium of shaking all these fruit trees. But yeah. Like, I now take like cooked lunches to work. And I've got to say, even though I love pasta, like you can grow out of you can age out of having certain food repeatedly a ton. It's just something you can get like tired of. You know, like having spaghetti meals for like 7 days in a row. You're just like on the 8th day, and you look at the spaghetti. You're just like, is there like an alternative? And I'm like, no. You're like, okay, cool. That's great, because you get over eating the same thing every single day. I don't know what it is or what causes it, but you get bored of it, or like your taste buds are just like, please no, save me. And you're like, look, I get it, I do. I know it's coming from a place of pain, but there's not a lot I can do to help you with that. Let's see. So I believe I was at that rock over there. Sorry if I seem a little muted or whatever today. It's been such a long day, and I'm just like stressed about assessment. Like, it stresses me out. And like my group partner apparently tried to reach out to me and like wasn't able to. You ever have those times where like group assignments just go catastrophe, like go crazy badly? Crazy wrong, and you're like, oh my god, why did this happen this way? And you know exactly why it happened that way. You helped make it happen that way. I've had some terrible group assignments over the years, like just truly terrible ones Is there only 5? No, there's 6 rocks. Cool. I do have 6 rocks. I had this, like, panic attack of, like, oh my god, did I delete a rock? Did a rock go away? Are the rocks gone? Boop. Boop. Well, I very well might remove this fruit tree. Like, place a different tree up there. Because there's just like too many of the pear trees all together, you know? It's like pear plus pear. I might move the pear tree. That's what I'll do. We'll eat one. Because it's the pear. It's our native fruit. And it sells for exactly the least. I'll put something here. Something needs to go here, like an object or something, you know? Display on ground. Boop, boop, boop. Jump. Bum, 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 bum. Essentially, we're gonna get up here somehow. Woo! Nailed it. Nobody questioned it. No one need to worry. It's gonna be fine. Woo! Okie dokie. We're gonna move these flowers. You. And no. Fair enough. We'll do that one. It'll be fine. It's gonna be great. Oh man, my headache is just sitting over my eyebrows. So I know I'm not gonna get everything I want to done today. And that's okay. I like this here. It's nice. Did we get what object I'm put in there? Don't know yet. Oh man. Does anyone else ever have those feelings where they're like, it's only Tuesday, but it feels like Sunday? Where you're like, the tiredness just seems to hit earlier, hit faster. I'm like, why is it hitting both faster and quicker? Like, is it the weather? Because I know we're heading into like spring, which is gonna knock my hay fever like no one's business. I'm just getting some chocolate. Nobody panic. I just succeeded in knocking over a thing on my desk. The other day I came home and like a bunch of stuff on my desk had just like fallen over, and it's not stuff that was placed in a way that should have easily fallen over. It was stuff that was placed, you know, in a place you wouldn't expect it to fall over. Because of like, it wasn't like gingerly placed on an edge. It was like securely placed like back. You know, like, I'm sorry. Why have you moved forward like this? What happened here? Okay, cool. Chocolate melding into each other. My favorite. Now, I know I'm lactose intolerant. So me and chocolate are not supposed to be friends. But some chocolate is just really good. And like, it's worth the pain. It's worth the like punishment it's gonna be on your like stomach. Because there's so many things that dairy is in. Like just so many. It's really difficult to avoid all of it. Like, as you go. It's such a complicated thing to do. Is it possible? Yeah, sure. And because of vegans, in part. There's a lot more things around that are like milk and lactose free. Especially like milks. Like there's a lot more like dairy free and lactose free milks that exist out there. The lactose free ones I know aren't because of the vegans, they're because of us lactose intolerant people. But the other ones is from a combination. Because I think lactose intolerance is becoming a lot more common. I'm not really sure what's like causing it. Like I don't even know what lactose is or does. Why it's in these things. How it gets removed. How difficult it is to remove. You know? Those kind of like situations you're like, what? Why? Why is this the case? Who knows? Think about all the ones up there? No. A mixed area. No, I'm not picking the pumpkins. I'm not selling the pumpkins. See, there's a tree I'm waiting to grow. I'm waiting on it growing a little bit more. I missed all of these. How dare I? How dare I smear the name of these beautiful fruit by missing them? I'm gonna shake it over here. Because the pears fall in weird places. This is 100% rave music. 100%. I know that like September is going on at the moment, and so there's all these subathons I keep seeing. I'm not doing one. No one worry. I'm nowhere in the stratosphere of like reach to be worried about that. I know that like I have a goal I put up in my like thing, but I almost completely don't expect to reach it. Where did that go? Wow, that was just like kapoofed. Because I want to still have this kind of like lowered forest area and a land bridge, but I'm gonna move where it is. Because I want to make it a little magical, you know? There's something about it all the way it is now. It just feels a little like I do like it. It is great and all. But it can be better. You know? There are improvements that can be made. Mallow is gonna make me the saddest, I think, to take it down. Now, I'm not selling any of the butterflies, because I am gonna reuse them in my new forest area. So there's no point in me getting rid of them. I am going to use all these pumpkins, because the next island theme it's going to be a little bit more Halloween-y themed. A little bit. Like more... How do I describe it? A little more nature themed. So, there will be a farm on it, which I am probably still going to give to Buck. But it's going to be a little bigger. So he's going to have like a little farm off to the side. But there's one island that always like inspired me because it was still kind of like mine where it had like layers and like you saw different things as you went up and down and like stuff in the distance. And stuff like on the other side of you. But like it was a really good way they split it all up. So that one I like kind of inspires me a lot for like what I think I want to do with all this. But that mine down there is staying the way it is. I'm basically just leaving it the way it is. Because I think I want to put my land bridge through here. Like all the way along here to the back. Because I think I also want to make part of this area over here the marketplace. But this isn't gonna look the way it does now for very long. Long enough for the tree to grow. Yeah, because, I'll show you the tree that I'm talking about. This is in a really good place, and I'm like, this tree needs to get bigger first. For it to be the way I want it to be. So it's all the way around here. So there's this one over here that needs to get one size bigger. For me to place something, and then... Come on. This tree here needs to get bigger. So even if it only gets like one size bigger, I think, I can always swap it out with this one. When it gets like 2 sizes bigger, so like 2 days. I'll swap it over. Or take this one out, so let it grow one day. Like grow one size. When this one gets to the like size before that one. So they both get bigger and I just switch them over. Because I want this one to be a full size tree. That's why I moved this thing here, this little like sprout. Because it's actually supposed to be behind here. And this is where a duck sits. And this way, like when you're standing here, it should like almost fully block that path from view. With the tree. Should almost fully block it. And if it doesn't, I'll take this. Because that one over there is supposed to grow too, but for some reason it hasn't. So if it doesn't, I'll like move it somewhere else just long enough for it to grow and then put it back. Because it's not like water is in the way. I've had trees like directly next to that. Like my stalls. So I have absolutely no idea why it's not growing. So if I have to, I'll swap it with like a fully sized one and let it grow somewhere else. But until they're all like grown, I'm not actually gonna like destroy the island. So I think I have one full set of each fruit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pears don't really matter as much, but yeah, so we're gonna have 10 of each of those to hold on to. Because I know I'll need more than those, fruit trees wise. but I'm not really too bothered about that. I can always, like, I'm gonna replant them all, essentially. Because I have an achievement on one of my, on like most of these villages, like, plant all the fruit, and I'm like, would, but I've kind of completed this island. So there's not really a ton of point to it. You know? I think I'm gonna sell both of those too, because I just don't think I need either of those those flowers. As I completed this house, I've completed all the houses. Like I gotta check Darcy's background, make sure that like I've placed out the antique that I meant to. I'm literally just waiting 2 days for those trees to grow. And then the island's basically done. So I've just gotta like do the 2 areas that need to be decorated, essentially. That's what it comes down to. Is decorating 2 missing areas on my island, which if I have to do them off stream, I'll deal with that when I get there. Let's see. So I got all the fruit in that area. I think the only ones left is near the museum, because I used to have a ton more fruit trees. Like, literally tons of fruit. Like, I'd cover, like, a mini section of my island. With, like, in just fruit that I'd gotten from my trees. Because I used to have an orchard. Like, a full-flown orchard. It was pretty. It was cool. I was gonna, like, make a farm up there with him. But, like, didn't. Let's see. Come on. This one's the biggest challenge to like do the jump over because it's just like it resists you the entire way. I'm like, come on, Nano, you're close enough. I know it's possible. Not me. I know it. I know it's totally possible for you to get over. But it's just like, not happening today. Thanks for playing. Thank you for asking. You're like, but you were just working. Because it'll let you jump one way, won't let you jump the other, and I'm like, I don't know how I designed that it created that. It both, like, it impresses me and drives me mental. So, I hope everyone's having a good day so far. I know that this is like a very, let's go chill stream. It's not like super hectic or anything, so I'm like preparing for the end of this. I've got to take all those items over to the island before I can finish decorating this, but you know, I'm getting there. It's a work in progress. I think it's only 2 fruit trees left, and I think I've cleared them all out for today. So yeah, that's good. The tedium of some of these daily tasks can get to you, and you're just like, why does this take 20 minutes? And then like you do it, and you're like, oh, that's why, because you gotta walk around basically everywhere to find it all. It's one of the main reasons I destroyed a lot of my coconut trees, because I was like, you're too much here. Gotta take you elsewhere. I wasn't sure if I was gonna stream today because I am very tired. Like very, very, very tired, and I was like, maybe I can do it tomorrow. I was like, no, I can't actually do it tomorrow. So I know today will probably be a short stream, and I will try and make up for the time on the Thursday or Friday, because I'm like I don't stream on Wednesdays, especially at the moment with all my assessment. Because this stream is going to be like a shorter one, which is fine. It's gonna be a-okay. So that's step 1. I've sold the fruit. Still haven't found the DIY recipe for this character. Let's look up and down the beach and see if I can find it. Cause it's gotta be here somewhere. It's not on the side with the mine. So it's gotta be on this side somewhere. Yes, protect the flower. Don't let me run through it. Okay, so it's not up here. Remember anything that I done a ruin to store here while I like figure out the island? I'll end up dumping on my other one. Like just dumping it on the ground. And I can use it over there until I figure out what I'm doing with it. The fossils they won't be able to donate, so like I want to keep the full set to decorate with. But there's a couple where I'm like I might give them some fossils to donate just to like help clean up some of the things that they've gotta donate spaces. Because it's like it's restarting a museum like all over again. Oh look, I found it. With like 1 billion shells. Here's the problem with like covering up my whole beach is that like the shells have to appear somewhere. And so they just kind of like congregate. They just like clutter a space and I'm like, oh look, a new home. Because you've like blocked off one whole beach so they can't spread out across the whole thing. It would have been a lot easier back when you do the tasks where it's like, why don't you sell like this many shells? And you're like, ugh. And you have to like hunt down the shells and you like have to run back and forth up along the whole beach. It's so much easier when you force them all into like one tiny area like this. But yeah, this whole area is going to be dismantled. So I haven't decided if I'm going to keep this top screen thing. I'm probably going to keep all these screens. But I mean like the pattern for up there. This one here is probably going to go. This bottom screen color. But I haven't fully decided yet because I'm like, eh. You don't need to decide now. You can like wait and think about it. Modeling clay. Woo. On the DIY. So I think that just leaves Pascal for Liz. I still don't know what I'm doing with these flowers. I'm probably just gonna take them all over to the other island and place them on the beach while I like think over what I want these for. Because I don't want to get rid of the hybrids. Hybrids have a purpose. I will, in all likelihood, end up needing a bunch of hybrids for the new island. So, you know, may as well just leave them where they are for the time being. I'm gonna make sure to do like a move of them all like off stream. So I'm not boring people with like, oh hey, I've got to do like trip number 12 of moving nonsense over to the other island. Because I'm sure that would get very tedious. Okay. Trying to find Pascal. The otter that likes to hide from basically everyone. Yeah. Brilliant. Gotcha. Sometimes I think the butterflies are just dumb. I'm like, where is the self-preservation you have in nature? Where did that go? I'm gonna giggle if one of the first ones is like the scallop, because there's always the ones where it's like on the one or two of them it'll be like the first one is a scallop, and then it'll take like the other one like 3 pockets worth of 3 pockets worth of the stuff for the same thing. And you're like, why did this take you like 3 times the amount of things for the exact same thing? Mm-hmm. So I know that a lot of people are like, the best like Ghibli movie is, you know, Spirited Away. And obviously I do like Spirited Away a lot. Is one of the reasons I'm making part of my island themed behind it. But it's not my favorite. Such good chocolate. My favorite is Howl's Moving Castle. Now, why Howl's, one might ask? In part, it's the music. Ghibli movies do typically have like really good soundtracks. Like just from ones I've seen, they always like have a vibe to them. They can help express the kind of movie it is. Like the music of Howl's, it's definitely got elements of like, you can tell them like it sounds like like you're in the middle of like Europe in some of them. Like it's the kind of music like if you heard it and you were just like sitting in a cafe bistro in Europe, you'd be like, oh yeah, we're here. Now, in part the reason it's based in Europe, it was actually based off a book by I'm pretty sure it's based off a book by Diane Wynne Jones, because I found one that was of the same name when I was in high school, because it was just in my school library, and I was like, what? What do you mean that, like, did she, like, make a book with the same name, and then, like, after the studio, which, like, wouldn't be a far-fetched thing, like, Howl's Moving Castle, sure, you can imagine that someone would have named a character Howl, like, I'm sure it's not the least common of mysterious figures' names. But it was very, like, coincidental that they all kind of, like, it, like, equaled out. So, yeah, like, my favorite is Howl's, in one part because of the music. The other is, like, the design of some of the characters. Like, Calcifer is by far a really cool character. So cool that I, like, debated making an emote of Calcifer doing the, like, you know, like, the capital D, like, I debated doing that, but I'm pretty sure I've seen one already out on the internet, and I was just like, I'll leave it to them. It's a cool emote, I'll give him that. Chop wood, catch a frog, water. Oh, water flowers. I can do that. I can water, eat flowers. I know, look. A pearl. Kid, don't move. I don't mean any disrespect, but don't move. You can't have kid just like wandering willy-nilly around and be like, tee hee hee. You know when you're like trying to find like a specific... Why? It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Got this. 2 in a row, didn't scare a bug. I'm glad that is an achievement, like a thing, where it's like, you know, you gotta get the fishes, like a certain number in a row without like losing one. I'm glad it's not a thing of like, how many bugs can you get in a row without spooking them? I'm glad that that isn't actually a thing, because so many people would be doomed. The number of people I see that are just like, oh my god, we're like getting the bugs, like why does it run away? And you're like, it runs away because you're not sneaking like well enough. Because not all of them sneak it like the same way, so some of them are like, and you're fine, and then you catch. But others are like, and you gotta stop, you gotta wait for it to move again, and then keep going. You gotta stop, you gotta wait for it to move again. And then bam. The ones that are like that are some of the like rare beetles. scorpions and tarantulas. Now, scorpion tarantulas will like attack, beetles fly away. So it's like a key tip of like how to not scare away the beetles. Because the last thing you need is terrifying away beetles. Like, well and truly the last thing you need. Mm-hmm. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Sold. Because I'm pretty sure that this one doesn't have anything I need for this area. I do think I have to go and like find cherry blossom petals from someone, like see if I can trade some. But apart from that, I think I've got everything I need. Yeah, because I'm just waiting for all the characters to like dump out their items on the beach to have them all catalog them. Because so many of them are missing items and I just can't be bothered to keep like mailing every single item to each of them every single time. So I'm like, you know what I could do? I could just like have them all slowly catalog them. Along with the other islands. So I think the next things I gotta send, despite the like order that I'm going in, is the plants. I gotta try and get them one of each of the plants. So I'm not even gonna start with the first person and see which plants. I'm gonna start at the last one and mail plants from them, because that way I'm filling in the gaps of the plants. I'm not like that, or I gotta find someone who's a treasure island that I can go to, where I can just pick up one of each plant. Alright, I think that's the accepted friend request. Ba, ba, ba. Oh yeah. So that's done. Do Control Alt H. Excellent. On to George. You'll see that all of them aren't really named after the characters, and that's because I'm like, I named them more after like the country or the username. You know, essentially. Why is that stuck? Me in this chair. The chair is comfy, but I have like pillows on it to give me extra height. Because I'm a short bean. So, here's my height. Because I'm just like, oof. You can see when I haven't placed the cushions correctly, because I just like mush. I like sink into the seat where I'm just like, I am one with the ground. You know when you do that and you're just like, no one need know I'm here. I've reached my peak height. It's a hard thing to like achieve, really. It really is. Okay. On to George. Achievements. This music is such a brave music. I'm like, how did I come across this? Because most of my other music is just like this calm, mellow thing, but I'm like, nah, I need something that like keeps me awake. Because Animal Crossing is calming enough on its own. The last thing I need is to fall asleep. But yeah, the other reason with like Howls, besides the artwork and the music, is the story. Like it's such a like, it's so realistic. It's something that you could see happening. I mean, wars have been started for less. World War II, it began with an assassination. Like, it started out with an assassination of like royal family members. Like, I know that there was other things leading up to it, and other things that, like, helped cause it, but one of the main things that, like, instigated it in was just, like, death of royals. Because there was a panic around, like, because it wasn't too much before, like, World War II that the royal family of Russia was killed off. Like, it wasn't too long before that. It really wasn't. It was maybe, if I'm being generous, like 15, 20 years. It was at max 30, but it was really close to then that it happened. It just baffles me. Because it wasn't the Russians, because there's just fears around, like, an uprising with royal family, like, with people. Something that, like, royals had a fear of, because, like, it hadn't been something that had really been faced. Like, sure, they'd made people unhappy, and the French Revolution, where they like, guillotined everyone, of course, also sent a wave of anxiety through people. Of course it did. Oh, hey, Fauna. Oh my god, a new reaction. Excellent. What is it? Warming up for you? Pleased. Brilliant. Now, most of my villagers have most of the reactions, with, like, the exception of, like, where'd it go? It's gone. No. I wanted to know what it was. It's fine. I didn't need it. It's all good. Who needed to know what was in the present? I sure didn't. Anyone else? Anyone else needed to know what was in there? No? Okay, cool. We're all in the boat of no one cared. Oh look, there's the DIY. That makes finding that a little easier. There's really only 3 places that most of these can be. Sure, you can find them in the mine, technically. There is a couple spots I left open purely for fishing reasons. Like, it's purely a fishing reason that you can actually get into some of those spots. Because I realized early on you had trouble with it. Alright, we're gonna read this letter, because it was so convenient. I found this DIY recipe in my dream journal this morning. I don't remember writing it down. I don't want to waste a good idea, so now I'm sharing this with you. My recipe is yours just to try out now. Just try now. Aurora, handicrafts lover. Okay. Tiny library. Why, thank you. I don't hate that. The tiny library is really good. I do love books. I love books a lot. Let's see. Is one of the tasks for George fishing by the any chance? It is. Fishing and books. And selling fruit. Well, I'm sorry, buddy. You know what? I'll just buy 5 pears and sell them. It's the easiest solution to that, like, quest thing of, like, oh my god, I don't have any fruit to sell. Well, I got a solution for you. Buy 5 fruit, sell it back to them. You'll lose money on it, but it'll fulfill that Nook Miles achievement. It is literally the easiest way to do that Nook Miles achievement if you don't have any fruit left on your island. There's no easier way to do it than that. Fauna, you mad one? What even is this? Okay, fine. You've earned yourself a photograph, Fauna, for just pure ridiculousness. See, I made these waterfalls because it was like, oh yeah, I wanted to make it look like it's going out into the ocean. Because, you know, you can't add mouth openings. You can't add, alter the beach in any way. So I was like, great. I guess the option is to just make waterfalls and be like, well, it'll possibly look good. Possibly look like garbage. Who knows? I won't. Boo, 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 boo. Let's see how many fishies we can get here. Fishy, 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 fishy. Fishies. No fishies. Fishies. The fishies are hiding. They know I'm on the hunt. Here's the other thing, and when I decide to take all this down and flatten the island, I gotta make sure that everything is in like its proper place. Nothing's left out in a weird spot. There isn't any like rando like fruit or item that's just plopped somewhere that I don't want to be in the final DA. Like it has to be like I full blown want it this way. Like this is the finalized look. You know where you make a DA and then you realize you've like left a rock, like a stack of stone, just like casually in the middle of like an area you didn't want it. And you're like, great, glad I did that. It's exactly like that. Okay, we're getting a fishing rod. I do think I'm gonna end up doing like a full dream address stream after I flatten. Even before then, I think while I'm flattening. Just need some ideas. You know, because it's always a good idea to like get a couple of being like, okay, cool. This is probably a good thing to add in. Okay, we got the fishing rod. Here it is. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I gotta check out which of these clothes I have and which ones I actually want. Total fun fest. So I appreciate anyone who like wants to hang out and hear me chat about nonsensical things while I'm doing this. It warms my heart. All the people who are like lurking, chilling, stopping by. Let's see. Shirts, glorious shirts. So many to choose from. Look at mom's sweater. I suppose no one actually has points enough yet to like decide what they want me to wear, because it's like it's a lot of points I gave to it. I suppose it's possibly a bit too many, so I might have to reevaluate it if I actually want people to do it. Okay, no one has done of that either. Tweed shirt. Do I have tweed shirts? No. Decide which ones of those I actually want. I'm definitely not giving those things to George. That. Okay. Do you have the security uniform? Because I feel like you probably do. If you don't, I'm surprised. Okay, you don't. I'm surprised. Because you have the pilot's uniforms. You got all the Power Ranger outfits. Ninjas. I am downright combobulated. Combobulated. Got all the fairy tale hoods though. Just don't have any of this. So it doesn't have ski masks. Security uniform. I know I have the flashy boots for the animal. Yeah, I've got the flashy animal shoes. Which is good. And last thing is work boots. I don't think I bought the blue ones, so I got the like second to last. think I want the black, red, white, and green work boots for George. Do I have any money? Yeah, but we're going to go and buy more items first from the mail. Because we're special cookies. And we're like, you know what we need to do before anything else? For any other greater desire things, we need to go online shopping. In the most inconvenient place to do shopping. Because it's not even like you can use money from your, like, storage when you don't have enough money in your pockets. It's just like, oh, you don't have enough money on hand? Well, man, like, then we can't help you, because, like, we only deal in, like, full-blown cash directly out of your pockets. I'm just like, it's, what is this, like the 90s? Since when is that a thing? But yeah, once I start to the flattening, so I'm keeping this staircase, at least for the time being. So this is one of the ones that's gonna stay until I decide otherwise. I will remove this small side path beside it with the the fencing, so we'll be able to like get around it easily. Plus I'll be removing this whole side part here with the water, so it's fine. Nothing is going to be in my way. But I am leaving this one until I decide if I want to get rid of it. Because I might actually want to move it farther back and make like an archway thing like up to it. Like up to the stairs. It's all a decisioning moment. Like, do I need this? Don't I need it? Question is probably don't. Question is probably like moving it farther back outside of like the area. Okay. So I need 3 more fishing bugs. And I have to do the, like, that. Okie dokie. Do 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 do. Yeah. I don't know, how's always, like, filled me with this, like, kind of comfort, because I know it doesn't, like, perfectly end well, but it, like, semi-ends well. Like, the guy, like, there's still stuff left to solve. Still problems left to be. How hasn't exactly been, like, restored to, like, a life of peace or anything. From, like, in the movie where he's just like, I'm gonna avoid all y'all. You can't make me be whatever. He's still kind of, like, I don't know if he's still, like, on the lam or whatever, but it doesn't tell you. They literally tell you fuck all. And you're like, cool. So glad that I learned absolutely nothing. Excellent. Look shopping. Antique furniture. Okay, so I did the beds. And the bureau. I need the black one. Place order. Chair. I need one of each of the chairs. 2. 3. And one of the clocks. Can I buy another clock? No, I cannot buy another clock. Brown, natural, black, and then brown. This is probably gonna be the easiest set. This one and the Imperial to fully like find the way through. So I think the big sets that I know everyone has, I'll leave to the villagers. Like, I won't try and like I'm gonna be interesting. And like, I'll leave those ones to the side villagers, and I'll buy the things around it with my main character, because she has every single item in the game catalog. Like, up to now, anyways. Like, they may very well release a new set of furniture, and I'll have to be like, well, fuck. Time to go hunting for all these new items. Woo! We're dropping about 300, because I think I need like 70 for all these clothes, because I think I'm probably just gonna end up getting like security outfit, some ski masks, a couple of the work boots. Probably not gonna buy the old school jacket or shirt with camera. So when I'm cataloging all the clothing as well, we're just gonna share around. And the clothing that no one wants will get directly sold. Because who the hell needs some of those clothing? Some of the clothing items are ugly. They're so ugly. I can't even express how awful some of them are. You know where you like look at the clothing item and you're like, ah, that's a Goodwill. Or like an item that you're like, I'm gonna like give it away to someone, and like if they never give it back, oh no, what will I do without that keepsake thing that I used to pull out for ugly dress contests? Or like ugly sweaters can be cool. There's nothing wrong with like a cool ugly sweater. Yeah, plus the other reason to flatten the island is it's turning into autumn. Like, this is nearing the end of summer in my game. It's August. September is the beginning of autumn in this game. Because I'm at the 10th. So, I'm gonna like try to not miss a ton of days, essentially. Because I won't have to worry about chopping wood from trees. I'm only gonna keep the number of trees I need, the normal trees, for the items, the wasps, and the money. So I'm actually gonna do a calculation, and every tree outside that is getting sold. All the baby trees, all the other trees, they're all going. All the planted fruit trees, going. Hey Monica Ladybug, how are you doing? Welcome to the Bear Cave. Hope you're having a lovely day. Do you play Animal Crossing, or do you just like watching? If, feel free to lurk as well if you don't feel like you have to answer. I understand that a lot of people prefer a lurk, and that's perfectly fine. What did he give me? Okay, cool. This generic cat that I will probably never wear. Some of the clothing items they give me, I'm just like, where did you get this? Moshi Moshi. Yes, I do play Animal Crossing. Were you trying to say Moshi Moshi or just Moshi Moshi? That's awesome. Like, what's your favorite villager then? Assuming you have one? Most people seem to have, like, at least a top, like, 5 that they really like. And they're like, these ones I would love on my island. They're adorable. So, like, do you have a couple of favorites? Or do you just, are you someone like, I like small? Oh, I don't really have a favorite. My favorite in this game is Buck. You'll probably be able to tell once you see it. Everyone else is here. Sheldon's on the beach as part of my mind. Because I didn't have a better area for him. Peanut, she's crafting. No, Moshi Mosh is how it's pronounced. Moshi Moshi is how anime characters pronounce it. Alright, good to know. I just read it. I'm gonna like do it in Japanese class where it's like, Moshi Moshi, konnichiwa, tashi wa rich desu, dozo yoroshiku onegaishimasu. So like that's just how everyone will read it, because you only do it in those like practice ones of like, hello, and you're like, hello, and you're like, sensei, yes. Yeah, so like in classes, like here in Australia they teach it as like, moshi moshi. Like everywhere I've ever like had it, and it's been taught in class. It's exactly how it's done. No lie. Everyone pronounces it. It's spelled. It's written as. It's pronounced as. Every single time. So, out of curiosity, then, are you in Japan, or do you just speak Japanese, or do you have like an interest in the language? Oh, nice. Well, I would not have. That's really cool. Well, your English seems great. I don't know if listening to me will help. I talk a mile a minute sometimes. Other times, though, I'm just like, what is the fairies? Sometimes, though, if you catch me and it's late enough at night and I'm not paying attention, I will literally say just, like, random nonsense. I've actually, like, watched back some of my moments where I'm convinced I'm just having, like, a stroke or something, and I'm just like, blah, 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 rainbows. I'm like, where did that come from? Did I just, like, have a heart attack mid-sentence? Where did the English fail me? Born and raised in Tokyo? Oh, nice. I've never been to Japan ever, but I've been learning Japanese, let's go with half of my life. How good am I at Japanese? Really bad at it. Thank you for asking. I can read a little bit more than I can create, so I'm better, like, reading it and writing it than speaking it. It's like, I think it's just a confidence thing that it comes down to. And the same way works with basically all languages. It's like, are you confident in this? Yeah. Do you speak it a lot? Yeah. So are you, like, gonna use it a bunch? Good. Thank you for asking. I think it also comes down to, like, not wanting to embarrass yourself in front of people who are, like, from the country. Although some people are, like, really nice about it, and they're like, no, like, it's cool, help. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Was it, like, a long work day? I know that, like, that I've heard is that, like, work days in Japan are, like, really, really long. There's that, like, stereotype of you, like, staying late, like, super, super late at work, and, like, only getting home at, like 10 or 11 o'clock at night on, like, night trains. Although I did hear that there was, like, briefly, I think, some kind of, thing the train lines were doing. That was, like, a deal for, like, getting a meal if you went, like, out of peak hour train hours, like, going in earlier or coming home later or something, or coming home earlier. Don't know if that's, like, accurate or not, but I know it was briefly talked about on, like, a podcast I watched at one point of, like, this was something they did to try and encourage people to go home earlier. 'Cause, like, I don't know if they appreciated the stereotype of, like, super long hours. So, I watch a lot of, like, podcasts and, like, YouTubers who are in Japan, who are, like, obviously English speakers. So their, like, view of it all is very different, because they're mostly from, like, Canada, England, Australia, and some from the US, and so their view of it all is very different than I imagine, like, a native speaker's would be. Because, fun story, the actual, like, set, like, working hours, the daytime hours of 9 to 5, was set here in Australia. So it was actually something that came from here, because hours before that for working hours were apparently very varied, depending on where you worked and all that, in every country. But they started to set it as, like, the baseline, like, full-time, like, hours. And so anything outside that was, like, more long-term or, like, rotationary shift. But those were, like, the base ones. It's called 9 to 5, but normally you get home 9:30 p.m. to 10, maybe 11 if they're being dumb. Yeah, cool. So, like, I'm glad I'm on the money with that. Yeah, that sucks, though. That really sucks. I get home at 6 o'clock. I get home later because I work in a call center, so sometimes, like, I'll get a call, like, 4:45, and I'll just be like, no, why? But we have to stay on until 5, like, we're required to, and so I'll end up, like, but we have to send them away if we can't solve it in, like, 20 minutes. We have to put them back into the line of, like, people, and we're like, this is nonsense. So I always try and solve the problem, but it ends up with me getting home at, like, 6:30 or something, or nearly 7 o'clock, and I'm like, where did this time go? So, I understand, like, the feeling, not to the same scale, because from what I understand, it comes from, like, not wanting to go home before your boss, I think was, like, the basic thing of, like, people would, like, look at you differently if you went home before everyone else. You quite enjoy late night bullet train music and a good bento, very good time. Yeah, well, that's awesome. I know that I'll have a late night snack. I've normally been a night owl, so I actually get some of my better work done in the middle of the night for some ungodly reason. But I get my better studying done in late afternoon, and I'm like, it sucks that I'm like at work now, when I would normally spend those hours for studying, but I get that time on Thursdays, so I use Thursdays to my benefit, of like, I get extra study done, it's such a good productive day. Who am I missing? I try and speak to everyone on each character, and I'm like, who am I missing? So I found Buck, I'm missing Solil, and I'm missing Buzz. Okay, Buzz and Solil are the two I need to find. Keep your eyes peeled, we're looking for an eagle and a hamster. I know they won't be over there because I can't get there. But yeah, like, my office is supposed to go from 7 to 7, like 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on rotationary shifts. But we can't seem to, I think, get the people for it, which is why I think we're doing, like, the shorter hours. Which kind of sucks, because it'd be nice to be able to, like, pick and choose your hours a bit more, and, like, work longer on some days and work shorter on other days, or not work at all. It would be really, really nice to still have the same hours, but, like, spread it a bit differently. It's a shame I can't do that. But, you know, the future, you never know where it'll lead. Dumping that. I know there's room for it. Okay, right here. We got it. So, I actually made... I don't know if you know the, like, Ghibli movies, but I kind of made this based off, like, this Spirited Away, like, marketplace. Hence all the, like, spirits. Like, little ghosty boys. I'm very pleased with how it's, like, turned out, honestly. It's gone very well. But yeah, I'm an avid lover of Japan and, like, Japanese culture, and this is why, like, so much of my island is, like, a combination, kind of. So it's a combination of, like, Japanese-inspired things and, like, where I grew up in the US, like, they're very forested, very, like, natural stuff, a lot of flowers, and so I've kind of tried to combine the two, and that's what my next island is still going to maintain the same, so I'm just changing up the layout of it all. Because I also made the train line, but a little different, so it's just like an inspired by a train station. Oh my god, Fuchsia's using it. Someone used the mushroom. It's a good day. It's such a good day. I never catch them using those things. I'm convinced they're just like, no one needs to use it. And then I made this bathhouse with no face. And all of this I'm eventually going to destroy. So I am keeping a lot of it. I'm just moving so much of it. I'm getting rid of this bathhouse entirely down here. So if I keep the bathhouse, it's going to go somewhere else. Yeah, that's awesome. You've had, like, a very, very good day. By the way, what kind of bento do you like? Like, I know there's a lot of different types of bento. I used to get one with my friend Mireille whenever I was at, like, when we were in her dad's doctor's office, because they specifically aim towards Japanese clientele. Because he was, like, from Japan, he was educated over there and came here. I think he did some college over here, he did a lot of medical research. And so we got one that was, like, yakitori, it had, like, dried seaweed, rice, a couple of sides I didn't really recognize, but I think one of them was, like, pickled something. I wasn't entirely sure, but it was really good. I really liked it. I have no idea what half of the things were. I'm a sucker, though, for ramen, honestly. But, like, good ramen, you can always tell the difference, because everyone makes ramen differently with different time limits. It's such a scale. There's ones that take, like, 3 days for them to make, and then you have the opposite island. Like, the opposite direction, where it's just, like, it takes, like, 5 minutes. Hey, Foxy. Yeah, I'm actually, like, gonna destroy all this in a couple of days. This is all going. I'm gonna keep the items themselves, because I'm gonna reuse all the items somewhere. But the island, like, everything else is gone. Everything must go. Yes, ramen is amazing. Cured salmon, rice nori, and sake carrots. Oh, nice. That sounds delicious. My favorite kind of ramen is like spicy pork, like spicy pork ramen, where you get like extra bean sprouts, and like I don't like eggs, so I have it without egg. And it comes out and it's like red, and you're like, oh cool. So there's spice. I love the spicy ones. So I watched someone do a subathon, and they were like, their punishment for getting so many subs was just like 2 times spicy instant noodles, and I was like, those look good. Those look good. I was given a melon today, probably most expensive gift ever given. Oh my god, yeah, your like fruit things are insane to me. You'll get those like wrapped, like gifted fruit, and I'm like, there was someone who once unwrapped this like strawberry, and it was like one strawberry. One inside this like container. It had like several layers of plastic. It was all like perfectly wrapped. Something I understood from watching a comparison between like Korea and Japan when it came to like food was that because there's less like arable land, there's a lot more of like seafood food, and you'll have like the food you get is different. It's the same in China. So like North and South China, very different when it comes to cuisine because of the food that they cook. So one region, I think it's the North, they're more so like the I know it was described to me a couple years ago, so I'm trying to remember, but there's kind of a split with the river, like the main river in China, and it's just like the North, I think, is like more collective. So I think you get more rice dishes, whereas in the South you get more noodles, or vice versa. You get more of one of the other in the South and North, and like the spice amounts is different, and the type of foods, you'll get more seafood in one and more like meats in the other. It's really fascinating the way like regionally food can be very different because of what's available and what's local and what's like cheaper. Oh wow, melon was 25,000. Damn. Yeah, I'd love a fact between you and China. Like I'm always happy to learn something new. I study languages, like a lot of them, as specifically Chinese, Japanese, German, and Spanish. So I'm always fascinated to learn more about any of that. I also love learning more about like others. So I recently learned Russia has like, okay, I was watching a video and it was like the breakdown of Russia as they took over to the area they had, because they started as like a tiny country. Tiny. They were invaded by the Mongols, and because of Moscow, like, they got better weapons, they got more money through trade, trading of furs, and they took back over their land, and then spread. So they originally went to the Urgal Mountains, then stopped, because they're, like, natural border, and they decided just to keep going, apparently, because they're like, we want to get into a natural border, so they kept going. And the thing is, unlike a lot of all the other, like, empires, who were like, we're gonna conquer and make them be like us, Russia didn't do that. They tried to take over a lot of them peacefully and be like, do you want to be part of this empire? And if it didn't work, they'd take them over by force. But they didn't try and destroy their culture, albeit since then they have briefly, throughout times of history, tried to wipe out different of these minority groups within these other parts of the country, but they did not do it during the takeover part. They tried to, like, allow them to have their countries. In fact, apart from in international affairs, a lot of the internal part of there's actually areas within Russia that have their own legislation, their own rules, their own government. So apart from, like, internationally, when it comes to international issues, they generally just operate on their own premises, apparently. Like, they just don't deal with. And I'm like, mind-boggling. There's essentially, like, 22 minor countries inside of this massive landmass, because it is, like, twice the size of Canada in just area. Your chopsticks are shaped differently. Japan is pointed at the end because they use for cut fish, because lots of fish in diet. China is not pointed at the end, most more pre-cut and cooked meats. Oh yeah, no, I remember that. I saw, I think it's also Korean has also some different shape to their chopsticks, so every single area seems to be, like, a little different, based on, like, the same thing, like the food that you use. Where am I even going on this island? think I'm going to check out the museum and see if anyone's in there. Or do I want to check out the clothing first? Alright, we're gonna check out the, like, the food, the clothing shop and see if anyone's in there. Yeah, you never heard about that, but yeah. Yeah, like, it's so cool. I love learning new things about the world. Because it's massive. And there's... So I was watching a thing of, like... Because I was watching this video, and it was just, like, all these facts, and even when it comes down to, like, their look, their languages, some of these areas within Russia, they have their own distinctive language. Like, their own, like, national language that's specific to that region of Russia. They have the overall language of Russian, which they learn, but, like, apart from that, they're very different. You're guessing fruit is expensive as you need to import. Yeah, I think a bunch of it is important, but there's also the fact that it costs a lot of water, and a lot of it costs a lot of space. And so I know there's actually, I remember seeing a documentary about the guys who are, like, the main people in the, like, one of the bigger powers of the strawberry industry in Japan. And they were, like, they found a way to, like, grow strawberries differently than everyone else. And their strawberries are expensive. Like, all fruit in Japan seems very expensive. It's easier to get, from what I understand it, fish, and, I think fish is probably one of the easier ones, I think, to get, from, like, across all of them, because I know vegetables and fruit take more space to grow them, and meat does too. I think some meat from... in Japan is actually imported from Australia, from, like, a certain couple areas. I don't know if it's, like, what type of meat, but I think they do import some of their meat from here in Australia. Melon is most expensive, Ichigo, grapes, blueberries are as well, yeah. Yeah, I think it's a lot of the ones that require more water. So a lot of the melons actually require a lot of water to make them. They're essentially just, like, water in, like, a shape. So I know Ringos isn't really that hard to find. Lemons as well, yeah. Yeah, because I think it all depends on, like, how they're grown, how much water they need, what else goes into them, the space required to make them. Melons require a lot of space to make. And I know that you guys also are famous for, like, cubed melons, which I think is just, like, making a melon inside a container to keep it into a square shape. So it's not actually, like, anything crazy. It's just, like, you've made it while, like, it's in a box. Cherries are hard as well. Yeah, I can see that. There's some of the fruit, because of the fact they require trees, so they have to be grown on trees, and the trees require a lot of care. Some of them can be really hard. Yeah, cube melon is still expensive. So expensive. Do I even like these shirts with you? No, I don't like those shirts with you, but you're getting the tweed vest. Tweed. And you're getting a ski mask. And work boots. So yeah, like, I know about cubed melons. I remember seeing someone go through, like, buying... They spent so much money doing this. They bought, like, the most expensive they could afford. Like, not the super, super expensive, but, like, the medium expensive version of, like, fruit, and then, like, the cheaper version of fruit, and they tested to see if they tasted differently. And they're like, sure, there's, like, a difference in taste between them, but it's not like either of them is bad. It's just they taste differently for... I think it depends on, like, how they're cared for, the region they're from, and, like, how they're grown. I think that essentially is all it comes down to. You know? And work boots. Yes, I'm going to purchase these things. No, I'm not going to wear them out. Because I know here... So when Australia was made, it didn't have cows. Cows are not a natural animal to Australia. I can promise you they're farthest from natural you could probably get. Just as, like, a downright base. They're definitely not a native animal to Australia. But the land here was very fertile because Australia, a long time ago, used to be a swamp. like, historically it was a swamp. Cows. I know I have this cows. Usui. No, not large dog. So, Usui is cow. Ushi? No. I'm missing Usui. I think it's I know the character for it. Let's see. Where is my whiteboard? I know I have a whiteboard around here somewhere. I'll type it out because I know I know it's like character, so this will help. Control C. Cow. So it goes into beef, which is so it goes into what beef is. So yeah, cow. I don't know if it's my accent. It's a little special sometimes. Yeah. Ushi, yeah. I was having a moment. I was like, I told you, I'm better at writing. I'm 100% better at writing because I know what everything is like written down and how to draw it all out. But then like you'll get to me trying to create something and I'll be like, what's that? Is that Benkyo? Is that Benko? It's like, no, it is Benkyo. And I'll write down the characters and I'll be like, yes, that is study. Because like my hand just natural and like knows what these are from practicing years. But my mind's just like, what's the reading? And I'll read it and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's what that is. I know what this is. And then it's just like, let's create the words. Honestly, anyone who tries to learn English, I marvel at it because it's just, English can be such a challenge. Do I want the red ones? I think I just want green and blue. We'll do green and then we'll get the blue. 5. Now you may wonder, why am I writing all these things down? It's because I have so many characters. I always forget all of the things I buy for all of them. And I forget every single time. I'm just like, what did I purchase for you? And then I look in their storage and I'm like, so I just missed picking that up entirely? You can't find your favorite shirt? Is that in real life or in the game? Because I know my favorite outfits are the kimonos. I actually have a bunch of them placed out. I actually need to fix the ones that I have out for the display ones. For when people visit my dream address before I save the dream address. Because I want to make sure that I have the right ones. I did the money rock. Did those. I think the only thing left to find is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Soul Ale and Buzz. So we're gonna find these two. Because I've done basically everything else between them and Pascal. For George. I also gotta see if George has any, cherry blossoms in his storage. Because I've placed most of the stuff for my island. Most. Okay. One Buzz. Nobody panic. The missing Buzz has been located, and too bad Soul Ale just isn't here in his house with him. Okay, real. What does your real favorite shirt look like by any chance? I mean, I know I can't help you, locate it. But I know one of my favorite shirts. Every time I lose it, I'm just like, where did you go? You've just kapoofed out of my life for some unbeknownst reason to me. And I'm like, why? Why did you leave me? So, I'm always like, I have my favorite work shirt, which looks great with one of my crazier pair of pants. It goes so well together. And I just go, excellent. I know what I'm gonna wear today. Because I've got to put my other work pants out to be washed. So I gotta wear my backup work pants, because the thing is, you can't just wear the same pair of pants every single day, although I have given it a good solid try to wear exactly the same pair of pants, and no one seems to have noticed or said anything about me wearing the exact same pair of pants basically every single day. Pink wit and has Fruits Basket characters on. Oh my god! Which Fruits Basket characters? Does it have Toru and Kyo, or just and Yuki? Ew, you hate your backup work pants? Fair. My backup work pants are tweed, so it makes me look like I'm trying to be a professor, which I'm kind of okay with. I totally know the shirt you're talking about. They sold it here in a couple of stores at one point. I've seen a couple of people wear it. I missed out on it. I'm still devastated about it. My favorite character was always Kyo. He was my favorite. He was like my crush in high school, which I know you're like, crushing on an anime character is, I've been told it's sad, but I went to an all-girls school. Like, the boys I knew were anime boys. So I liked Gaara and Kyo. Yeah, that's right, Sakura Blossom's on it. That's exactly the shirt I'm thinking of. It was sold briefly in a store here. So there's like, I've seen it like half a dozen times, but most of the people I know who own it are like hermits and students, and they're like, we're never leaving our house again. Thank you for playing. And I'm like, oh my god, no. So someday if they ever start selling it again selling it again here, I will get it. I'll be like, yeah, getting it. So I loved Kyo so much in high school. He was my favorite. Like, I just wanted to help him. Don't get me wrong, I loved I think it was Haru, and there was the younger boy. I've forgotten his name for the moment. Like, he wasn't younger. He was younger by like a year, but he looked like a baby. He was the rabbit. I can't remember the word for rabbit right now. It'll come to me. The word will appear in my mind. I'll be like, this is the word. No. But, man, it was such a good show. Like, the new one that's been come out, like, the original, I haven't really seen a lot of it, but I heard that it was really bad. But, like, the OG show, I mostly read the manga. Do I actually have it right down here? Because I know it's really close by me. No, it's hiding itself. I have my manga, like, directly behind me. And so, my fruits basket is back here somewhere. But I decided to sort it for some unbeknownst reason to myself by, like author. And so now I can never find any of it. So I'll find it later. You know, he is mad at me. I smell like pandas. Your dog is mad at you. You smell like pandas and dirt. Oh no. Mine usually used to get mad at me for mine specifically used to get mad at me for smelling like cat. So whenever I was over at my friend's place, it would come over and it'd like jump on me and like rub itself against me. It'd be like, no, you're not smelling like cat anymore. You will smell like dog. And not any kind of dog, you'll smell like wet dog. And so it would just like come over and like, I assume by the fact you smell like pandas and dirt that you work with pandas, maybe, or near something that smells like panda. And that sounds really cool. You must have a much more exciting job than I do. Because pandas, like, my first time with a panda was not great. My mom dragged me to go and see the pandas in San Francisco at this, like, zoo. And I was not impressed. I was like 4 at the time, 4 or 5. And I was like, what are these things? We had to wait an hour for apparently an hour For me, I thought it was like the whole day. In my mind, my memory, we spent like the whole day in this line. And my mom giggles whenever I tell her this because she was like, it was maybe 40 minutes. Like, we just missed the previous showing of the pandas. And I'm like, 40 minutes to a 4-year-old is forever. If you've ever, like, tried to make a 4-year-old wait through, like, 10 minutes, they're just, like, losing it. They're like, why have you made me sit here so long? Like, you're ruining my day. 10 minutes is a million bajillion years to them. They're just like, you'll tell them, it's only been 10 minutes. And you're like, they're like, it's been 10 years. And you're like, 4-year-olds have no concept of time. You don't really get a bigger grasp of time until you hit maybe like 8 or 9 when you start to go to school. So I'm just like, my first panda was just like not a good experience. I just sat there and was like eating bamboo, and I was bored, senseless. I was like, this panda doesn't even do anything. Because we just had like seals, like sea lions, penguins. We had all these cool other, like, tigers. They did a tiger show where it, like, launched and ate, like, a piece of meat. It was cool to me as a 4-year-old. I was like, oh my god, tigers! And then there was pandas that did nothing. And we walked in the line, and I have a keychain my mom gave me for the pandas. Like, going and seeing the pandas. It's this little panda. I still have it. It's on my keys. I've had it all these years. It's one of the few things I've retained over my whole life. And I keep it as a memento of the time she dragged me to go and see pandas. No, they cling to your legs, trip many times. Tiny ones don't know they have claws yet. Very painful, yeah. No, I imagine. I watched this video that was out. It was like the from one of the zoos, I think, in China, of this lady trying to clean the area that had the baby pandas in them. And it was a nightmare for her. Because she was trying to get, like, leaves, like, sweep up leaves to, like, throw them out. And they were just everywhere. Like, all over, and they kept, like, climbing into the basket she was trying to shove them into. Like, shove the leaves into, and just knocking it over. They're like, oh my god, a new toy, let's investigate. And just, like, launched themselves inside the basket and kept knocking it over. And she had to, like, use her foot to, like, push them away while she tried to, like, get these leaves into this basket. In the end, she ended up just, like, sweeping them into a pile and sweeping them out through the door that she came in through, and like putting them in the basket when she got out there. And I was like, I think that should just be your new policy. Because you're not going to get it done, like, inside the enclosure. It's just never going to happen. I wish you the best of luck. Which made me giggle. Like, intense giggling over it. Because, oh my god. I've probably rewatched that video every time it comes up, like a billion times. One got stuck in a bucket today, 45 minutes to get him out, he bit you 10 minutes later. Oh my god. Pandas, sometimes animals are so dumb. I love it. It's why, like, watching videos of animals just can make people happy, because you're like, they're so dumb sometimes. And it's not even like a mean thing, it's just like it cheers you up, honestly. Where is Solo? She's gotta be on this island. She's here somewhere. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you got bitten. Like, it sucks that you got bitten. Like, I bet it hurt. Getting bitten by anything hurts, but I'm glad you're able to find the fun in it. Pandas can be a little special, especially, I'm laughing especially about them getting stuck in the bucket, not about you getting bitten. Oh man, I just love animals sometimes. It was like my cat Fluffy. My Fluffy, like, passed away a couple years ago, but really cute, like, cat. It was just like this huge, like, fluffy monster. And it would sit on this chair, like, directly behind you. Like, imagine this, like, apple, like, is him, and I'm here. And, like, he'll just stick his head on your shoulder when you have food. And be like, meow. Just like, meow, meow, meow. Until you, like, pay attention to him, and he's like, feed me. And you're like, I'm not starving you. I fed you earlier. I fed you directly before I had food. And I'd be like, no. You didn't feed me your food. And you're like, why? You don't need this. This is human food. And I'm like, no, it's my food. You're gonna give me some? And you're like, why? Oh my god, they steal glasses? No. Why do they? Do you know why they? Is it because they're shiny? I'll have to warn my friend. She's the one who's more likely to run into pandas than me. Incidentally enough, and she might just be like, and she actually wears glasses more often. I only wear them when I'm trying to read, but I'll have to remember that not to wear my glasses when like I meet a panda. Where is Solo? If you see an orange hamster, I will make flyers for this girl. Like like maybe I'll just ignore her. You know, I don't need to speak to her today. Do I have all of her reactions? Let's see if George has all the snooty reactions, shall we? Yeah, I can go ahead and ignore her. Sorry, Solo. You ain't speaking to George today. We've had enough of your nonsense. Look at her. She ain't here. Okay. We're gonna go swimming and find Pascal. We're not finding Solo today on this character. Essentially, I've reached the point where I'm like, if you don't need the emote, like any reactions from that character anymore, if you can't find him after like 20 minutes of searching for him, you're not meant to find him. Just, they're hiding from you. Humans enjoy glasses. Panda wants to know why you get joy. They steal off. Out. Why happy? You run after Panda for 2 hours trying to get glasses back. You wear contacts next. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be laughing about that, but I hope you can find the humor in it in hindsight. That's awful. Oh man, it's like, I heard you don't make eye contact with monkeys because they'll think it's a challenge. Which, you know, it makes sense. It makes sense that, like, making eye contact is a challenge, because the thing is, if you stare, like, we're evolved from monkeys, humans. If you stare into the eyes of another person for long enough, they're just like, what do you want? Like, say something, or like, move along. Like, humans are exactly the same way. The same, like, instinctual thing is still inside us, of, like, if someone's making eye contact with you for long enough, you assume they want something. Like, there's a reason for it. It's not just them, like, randomly staring into your eyes. Like, eye contact is a sign of you're paying attention, but, like, for too long, it's like, it's a challenge. Exactly the same thing. So it makes sense to me that monkeys would be like, eye contact equal challenge. Perfectly reasonable. It's why you'll get, like, when people, like, I was watching this thing and there's this guy, he was trying to avoid eye contact with the police. So he spent like 30 minutes pretending he was texting his wife on his phone. His wife, by the way, was dead. She'd been dead for like 6 hours. 6 or 7 hours. He should know he killed her. And he spent the whole time just on his phone, being like, beep, boop, 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 boop. I'm not looking at the cops. Because he was like, the eyes can tell you a lot. If you're like shifting and you don't want to make eye contact, if you're avoiding, like, body language can tell you something. And so it completely does not surprise me that monkeys treat body language the exact same way. They're like, your body language means something, you know, like being like up and aggressive, or like eye contact, or like whatever else. Total sense to me. Puffins are your favorite to work with? Ooh, puffins. Why are they your favorite to work with? Tell me about it. As someone who does not work with animals, whose grandmother feeds possums. My grandmother feeds possums. Hey, sassy butterfly XO, how are you doing today? Are you having a good day? And do you love Animal Crossing? Do you play Animal Crossing? If not, perfectly understandable, and don't feel obligated like you have to chat, but if you want to, say hey. I also have like a quiet say hello called Notice Me, if you just want me to say hi to you, which is, you know, perfectly fine. They like to inspect things? Do you mean like if you have something, they'll just like shove their face into it and be like, what is it? Can I have a look? Can I see? Dogs do the same. Dogs and cats do the same thing. You'll be like, you're trying to put something together, and they'll just like stick their face into it and they'll be like, what is it? Is it for me? Can I see it? Can I be there? Can I look at it? And you'll be like, look, I appreciate, like, the overall thought of you. Like, wanting to stick your face into whatever it is I'm doing. And half the time I'm convinced it's just because they want the box. They're just like, when are you done so I can have the box? And they'll, like, steal the box. And you're like, okay, box is yours now. Have at it. I don't know what it is with cats and boxes. Like, why they love boxes so much. But as a child, we got a new TV, right? It was a huge TV for, like, my age. Like, it was a big enough TV that the box was big enough for me and my friend to sit inside of it. We don't have this TV. I don't think we have this TV anymore. We brought it over with us from the US. No, wait, we had to sell it because the voltage is different. So we sold it before we moved here. Because you couldn't bring it with us because voltage is different. Someone actually proved that to me because they bought a toaster from Japan and they plugged it in here in Australia and the thing caught on fire. It, like, burst into flames. It's so funny. And someone I know in the US bought an English toaster. Same exact thing happened because they realized they had to have, like, one of those converters for voltage. So you have to buy this a separate thing to connect through, even though, like, the plug is different. So the plug isn't even the main problem. The plug is just a side effect. I shouldn't be laughing about the things just bursting into flames, but I'm like, it's just like a thing that happens. It's like, it bemuses me on this greater level. The ridiculousness sometimes of things. We're gonna find Pascal. Pascal is going to appear for us. If it takes us several pockets of fish and fish. For example, you text a friend about doing stuff on Fridays when I have a Puffin shirt. Puffin will hop on your shoulders and slap their foot on the screen, trying to see why your fingers on my phone made me happy. They're very social. They're trying to see what makes you happy to become friends with you. Oh, that's so cute. That's adorable. Oh, man. That makes me smile. Come back here. I know you're a fast one. Okay, fine. We'll get there. I'll get you. I've got patience. One of these long boys, these, like, fast guys, I spent, like, a period of time just chasing it around the map. The real trick: slow down, slightly hover over the water, and then dive. But yeah, it's like koalas. Koalas are dumb. Okay, koalas here are very stupid. People are like, oh my god, koalas are so cute. They're adorable. They smell? First off, they smell really bad. They smell awful. They do not smell good. And second, they can't, if you take leaves off a branch, a twig, they no longer have the ability to recognize it as leaves. Fun story. They've actually done tests, and koalas, full-blown, if you take, like, eucalyptus leaf, like, you have a stick, it's got eucalyptus leaves on it, you have the stick there, they're like, nom nom nom, leaves, food. You take the leaves off the stick, they no longer recognize them as leaves. They're like, what is this? It's why most of the koala enclosures will have, like, a tree, and then into it will be, like, twigs, like sticks, with the leaves on it, like the eucalyptus leaves on it, still. Because they have to see the leaves on the stick to know it's like leaves that they can eat. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. And koalas follow the tree a lot. It's why we have the meme drop bears. So, like, there's, like, the meme of drop bears of just, like, that they'll fall from trees and, like, eat your brains. And it's, like, unsuspecting tourists. It was, like, a meme for a while, but out of Australia. We're not allowed to do it. Like, the tourist board shut it down. There was postcards, there was billboards, there was t-shirts. Because when I first came here in Australia in, like, 2002 or 3, I actually bought a postcard with that on it. They stopped selling those ones a couple of years later. Because by the time I moved here in 2007, you couldn't find those anymore. They didn't sell them anymore. So after a couple of years, I think maybe it must have scared away some people. They must not have understood it was, like, a joke. Which, fair enough. And I'm glad they're your favorite to work with. What other kind of animals do you work with? Like, out of a general curiosity, because obviously the closest I come to working with animals is Pascal here, finding this otter. It's like I found out, like, I think it was like Oscar's, like otters will like hold hands while they go to sleep so that way they don't drift away from each other, which I thought was really cute. That's always like, I like finding the scallop on each of my characters and giving it to Pascal. He looks so happy. Like, albeit some of the things he say are nonsense, so I don't really pay attention to what he says. Where am I on the map? I think I'm just north of where I can go around. We're just gonna head down. Yep, there I am. Cliff. Okay, so we're farther east than I thought I was. The koalas can be very, very, very dumb. It's like I was looking up like information at one point about Australian animals because people kept being like, "Oh, you're from Australia. Tell us fun animal facts." And I was like, "Okay, I will tell you fun animal facts." So it was just like, koalas are dumb. They fall out of trees. They have like a higher rate of a couple of diseases. Because they're dodo birds, and they apparently will pass it like no one's business. Which I felt bad about, because like there's the whole like, when they had the fires a couple of years ago, like sections of the koala population, like certain specific koala families in certain areas were just wiped out with the fire, which I do feel bad about, and a lot of people did rush to try and save them, which is great. I'm glad that Tasmania wasn't affected, because apparently there's a thing called the Tasmanian tiger, which is different to the Tasmanian devil. Tasmanian devil is this little black thing, kind of looks like a dog. It's full black, and it makes this like really loud chatter. Now there's the Tasmanian tiger, which is kind of more the size of like a cat, like a big cat. And it's just striped, and like, they assume it's extinct because there's no like confirmed sightings, like official confirmed sightings, but people have in more recent years like thought they spotted some of them, and there was like footage they were taking at one point of like birds, because they were trying to test out if the birds were going extinct or what was going on with the bird population, and they spotted one on video, and like they think they spotted one like in the corner, but it's not confirmed, like officially confirmed, and I'm like, I bet they're there. They're just like hiding out from people, because part of the reason behind why they were going extinct was they were getting killed off by people. Like, as far as I'm aware, that's one of the reasons. And so I'm like, okay, they're avoiding humans now. They've gotten smarter. The dodo, 100% extinct. Like, I don't doubt that one. But the tiger has managed to hide. Otter, panda, puffin, penguin, wild dogs, and snow panda and lizards. You hate lizards. Fair enough. I'm also not a lizard fan. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big lizard person. They just freak me out. Like the eyes. So many of them have teeth. I recently learned that there's this one type of lizard that when it's like, it's panicked and it thinks it's like in danger, it'll squirt blood out of its eyes. I was like, why? And more importantly, who tested this? How did you find out? Was there like, and there's like video footage of all these people doing it. I was like, okay, I understand the first time testing out to figure it out, but stop. Stop it. Get some help. Oh no, it's late. You must go to sleep or wake up in the mood to unlive people. So good. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for like stopping by, and I hope to see you around again sometime. You know, if you're me both around at the same time, and have so much fun with work. Your work sounds really fun, although I'm sure it's also difficult. But I'm glad you could stop by, and I hope you find your shirt. It's very important you find your shirt. So, it was really good having a chat with you about, like, the joys of animals. So, Foxy, how is your day going? Are you just enjoying, like, a cheeky lurk? Because I don't know if you were streaming today. I don't really pay attention, a lot of attention to my notifications anymore during the middle of the day. I'm just, like, completely unaware of what's going on. So that's why I miss, like, practically all of Fellies. Practically all of them. I get the notification at lunchtime most of the time, and I'm like, oh, cool, have fun. So I basically don't check mine until about like 5 o'clock on my way home. And it's a weird hour for a lot of people because I know it's like midnight. So most of the people that I know who are here in Australia are just like asleep. Asleep by now, which is fine. Perfectly okay. Been doing some uni work at the moment. Got uni 2 lecture tomorrow. Me too. I've got uni tomorrow too. Well, kinda. I have like a thing due for uni tomorrow, and I'm like, it's kinda done. Probably should stop streaming and work on it. Which is why I'm doing a short stream today, because I'm like, I know I have to log off at a certain point and like work on it. Most people are beginning to veg or sleep, but I'm a night owl. Yeah, no, me too. And I start work at like 9 a.m. So I have to be awake usually like 7 to 7:30, so I can leave by 8. Like at 8 o'clock is my latest, so I can be there for 9. Because if I leave at 8, like just after 8, like by 8 like 15, if I'm on like one of the trains around that time, I get to work by about 8:40, which gives me time to like have a quick chat, get my stuff, get logged on, start my day. Yeah, it's so inconvenient to be a night owl. The bright side, once the holidays hit in December for me, I can be a night owl for as long as I want. It's gonna be fine. We're on Darcy. But I gotta pass my classes first, so I'm like trying to give them the attention they need. So I'm like, tomorrow night I'm not streaming. I'm just working on my assessment. Because I'm 100% freaked about it. Because I've got one as an oral for Japanese. And I'm like, me and my partner have barely spoken at all. Barely at all. I have no idea what their level of Japanese is. They have no idea what mine is. I have no idea what we're going to talk about. We haven't practiced at all. We're mildly doomed. We're mildly fucked. So I'm trying to like, I'm taking my text with me on the train to work, and I'm gonna review on the train. Yeah, it does make things complex. So basically I'm spending tomorrow afternoon doing a combination of making sure I have my research for one of my assessments. So I'm gonna get the research for it and have that saved. So I'm gonna make sure to find about 6 or 7 resources. And then the rest of the night is devoted to like Japanese study. That's it. It's gonna be like an interesting night because I'm gonna have Twitch on as like background noise because it helps me think, having the background noise. But I'm gonna overlay any music they have with my like focused study music, which is essentially just Hades, Celeste, Hollow Knight, and Ghost of Tsushima music just on repeat. Because for whatever reason, those are my like focused music. Is it gonna ring? It's ringing. Their phone's ringing. Yeah, like half I'm like I'm just lurking because you can lurk really easily. It's why I'm like I know I have a lot of lurkers in my chat at this hour. And I don't blame any of them for being lurkers. I'm like, you go ahead, lurk away. Enjoy the lurkage. I'm perfectly fine with this. Or music. Yeah, I need white noise too. Did I even order anything in the mail? Darcy, you heathen. I didn't order anything in the mail. Oh no. Ski mask. What color is it? I want to know so maybe I can avoid ordering. I know there's room. Okay, look. Place the ski mask. I want to see what color this is. Cool, it's the red one. Excellent. Do I have any things in my pockets? Okay, we're gonna put this over here. And we're gonna dump it in storage. So I know I've got the red one already then. Because I'm just buying everyone the black, green, and blue ones. Just from like, if I decide to theme everyone as security guards randomly. If at any point I decide I want to like make the entire island like a tourist attraction and just be like, fuck it. Why not? Let's see. So they've got, I'm seeing if they have these outfits or if I want them to have these outfits. So that's O, P, R. They don't appear to have... No, they've got one. Cool. I can cross that off the list. Because every one of these guys has a different kind of, like, outfit, like, theme, colors. Like, this guy has, like... He's been more fabulous with his outfits than some of the others. So I don't think I want to get him the, like, shirt with vest. He's the only guy that I typically, like, put in dresses. So I'll put him in, like robes, magical girl dresses, kimonos. Like, I don't care. I put him in all kinds of things. He's kind of like the he doesn't give a fuck what gender the clothes are supposed to be guy. Like, I know I can do that with all of them, and occasionally there's odd outfits where I do that. But usually I pretty much stick with, like, a theme for each character. Whereas he's a little bit more feminine sometimes with his clothes. Or what, like, you'd call feminine. Which I enjoy. I enjoy having, like, a variety of outfits. He also has the mermaid basement. Fun fact, his house is the mermaid basement one. He's probably going to keep the mermaid basement even if I move his house. Because I just love having a mermaid room. Okay, so... doesn't have a tweed vest. I think I'm going to buy him one tweed vest. Just for my own sanity. I think I'm gonna get him the clover dresses. Or I'm gonna have a look first and see if he looks good in the clover dresses. If I like the look of him in the clover dresses. You know where you're like, you could get them an outfit and you're like, I'm gonna have a look and see if they look atrocious in this first. And if they do, you're like, eh, cool. No. Thanks for letting me see that. Bowling shirt. Pretty sure he has a bowling shirt. See, I make lists. I make all these lists of just, like, things for them to own. Fedoras. Yeah, he's got a ton of the fedoras. I don't need to buy him all the fedoras. Oh, man. Super exciting. I got the big ribbons. I got the small ribbons. Fox masks. Do I have the fox masks? It's all in a weird alphabetical order. None of it's in, like, a convenient alphabetical order, you know? Doesn't have those. Brow line glasses. I think I have all but the green one, so I just need to buy the green one. Get green. I think it no longer has the vivid leggings. But he also has the tights. So I just, like, copy and paste a lot of the time. Like, the things, the clothes list. And it's like, then I figure out whether or not I want that for that character. Just as, like, a rule or a basis. It's a weird, like, habit I've gone into. Got those. And I have all the wingtip shoes. Yeah, I just also have duplicates of the wingtip shoes. There you go, that's closed off a lot of the things I need to get. Excellent. It's why, like, when I need to empty out storage, the first thing I do is go through the clothes, because I'm like, there's always duplicates. Every single time I go and I have clothes, there's always duplicates. No matter how hard I try. But no, I think after I start flattening, I'll probably do a DA tours day, just like random DA tours, or if anyone shows up and wants to show me one, I'll do them too. Because I know I have a thing that's like redeem it, so I might make a one that's like DA tours only redeem for like specifically that stream for them to put it in and turn off the other one just for that. So I think that's something I'm gonna do. Because I have one that's like really high in points. You know? It's like, I think a couple of thousand, or like 1,000, something like that. For like, whenever I'm just playing Animal Crossing, like randomly. Like the random Animal Crossing days. Do 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 do. Alright, let's go over here. Let's do the money rock today. Let's hope my shovel doesn't break. My greatest fear is always like when I'm doing this, the shovel breaking. Well, yeah. That's where I was. I was thinking about like the Studio Ghibli movies. That's what I was talking about a while back. And how's my favorite? I love The Grave of the Fireflies. Incidentally, not as many people have seen that one. I think in part because it's so sad. So it's like a movie about like 2 children in World War II, like the World War II period, which was not a good time from what it seems like for a lot of children. Because the movie is brutal. There was a showing of this movie, and they did My Neighbor Totoro, and then this one. And they have very similar elements, you know, 2 siblings going through things together, experiencing a lot of things, hardships with their family and everything else. It's got a lot of similarities, but they have very different vibes. Like one is like super cheerful, super like happy, like you meet a forest spirit. I recently found like a thing, because I had Totoro kind of ruined for me a couple of years back by someone who was like, Totoro has like a secret second movie. It's about like these kids, and they're like, and at the end they're dead, because that's why they don't have shadows at the end finals period when they run to the grandma, and she like passed away from the stress of finding one of their bodies or something like horrific like that. And like Totoro is a death spirit, and the reason the mom can see them in the trees is because she's dying along with the kids. And I'm like, what is this? So they told me that they were like, that's the underlying plot. Of Totoro. In case you're wondering, the actual creator of Totoro, like the person whose idea it was, who like executed the thing, he's come out and been like, it's nonsense. Like, Totoro is not an evil, like, not a death spirit. He's just a forest spirit. The mom, for whatever reason, they're, like, only slightly hidden in the tree, so the mom thinks she sees them because she actually sees them. Because they're not super well hidden. It's nothing nefarious. I'm like, okay. Cool. Because that other one made me sad, because Totoro was one of my, like, I'm feeling shit. I want to feel better. Movies, you know, the kind of day where you're just like, I just need something super uber cheerful. And after they told me that, all I could think about with that movie was how depressing it was. Like, that was the ending. There was, like, this secret ending to the movie that I just didn't know about, and I was like, why? Why do this? Apparently it's lies. Apparently that's not the case, so Totoro's back to be my 3rd favorite. So, Grave of the Fireflies is probably my 2nd favorite. I can't watch it all the time, because it makes me sad. The ending, like, the end like, the last half of the movie downright breaks my heart. You can probably guess by the name it's not going to be a cheerful movie, so that's not a shocker. But this movie, like, downright makes me sad. Like, ugly tears sad. It's a great movie, it's very well done. But I would not recommend it if you're, like, trying to, like, cheer yourself up for the day. 0 recommendation on that front. However, if you're looking for a good movie and you're okay with having to cry, it's a good movie for that. I 100% say Grave of the Fireflies is a good movie. That aside, I will not be trying to make anything from that movie on this island. There's a reason you don't find many things for it. I have thought about, like, trying to recreate some of it, kinda, in a room, but I wouldn't even know how to make a wallpaper with fireflies on it. I keep hoping they'll release, like, a summertime wall that has, like, fireflies on it. As if you know such luck. But there's always the future. Yeah, I really don't like these shirts with him. They're boring. But I'm gonna get him one. I do not like those pants with your outfit. For you. It's like I also don't want him to have bowling shirts. He seems too cool for bowling shirts. Eh. I might get the nurse outfit though. So we're gonna get first the blue tweed shirt. Black. Because you got the red, so I only need the green and blue. Was I getting any of these? I think I was just gonna get the, like, black ones. I might also get the blue ones. Because this character wears a lot of black and blue outfits, and, like, the Mary Janes are really cute, and so I'm like, if I'm gonna put them in any of these, like, outfits, I better have, like, a good... I don't think I have the fox masks available today anymore. Ski mask, number 1. Tweed vest, 3. Not getting the clover dresses anymore because they did not look good. I'll need to catch your next stream. Gotta head off and finish getting ready for tomorrow. Take care. Yeah, no worries. I know I'm finishing stream in like 15-ish minutes because I was only planning on a short stream and it's nearly 1 a.m. So I'm like, right, the fox masks are adorable in this game. Absolutely adorable. Like, no worries. You like catch me. I'll see you next time. Like, either here, your stream, somewhere else. We'll run into each other in the ethos of Twitch. Thank you for stopping by and saying hey. I greatly appreciate it. Really. And, you know, joining in on the chit-chat. Especially about pandas. So you have a lovely evening, night, day, whatever your plans are. Have fun. And I'll see you next time I see you. Blue nurse's outfit. We're getting the blue nurse outfit. Green. Because are the fox out shirts? No, they're gone for the day. Cool. Get them next time or I'll have them mailed. I want the light blue or the dark blue. We're going with the darker blue. Yes. Yes. No. Oh man. 4. I'm sorry about all the like random click clack. It's not intentional. Done that. I'm pretty sure the brown ones aren't available anymore today. And I got the last one. But yeah, so then it went. So it goes Grave of the Fireflies. Their music. We will definitely have a great day tomorrow. Excellent. With Grave of the Fireflies. The music, so good. I can't even talk about how good the music for that movie is. It's just, it's the kind of music where you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna get white, black, red, green, blue, and purple. So we're gonna get all but the yellow and pink for this character. Brilliant. It'll be faster now that we're just getting the work boots. 5 D. Okay, so I've done These three. Do. Control. Hey Hatsune Miku, how you doing today? Nice to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Having a good lurk. But yeah, so like the music is so good. And like that's the thing about music for movies like this. They really know how to like make a mood. Like the wrong music can just ruin a mood entirely. Like imagine if you're at a scene where it's just like you're like the main character has died. Oh my god. Hi. Thanks for the raid. Was that where you were peeking in? You were just like seeing how I was doing and you're like, haha. Hi Miku Knights. Hope you all are having a good day. Hope you were being treated well by our friend Hatsune Miku here. You're playing Hatsune Miku Project Diva Mega Mix. Why am I not surprised? That seems like just the kind of game up your alley. Yeah, I was at this one. So this is 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it's 6. It's boot number 6. Well, were you enjoying the game? Have you played it before? I know that like I know there's a lot of Hatsune Miku games out there. I don't know if you can see my Hatsune Miku up there. You probably can't. She's kind of hidden all the way up in the corner there. But I also have, this one. It's the special edition Sakura Miku. I got the other Hatsune Miku because, yeah, so I got the other, like, Miku because, someone I know was, like, they owned it. They had no idea how they got it, why they had it, where it came from. They were like, cool, I own it, I bought it at some point, and now it's mine. And they, like, gave it to me. You normally stream for 5 hours, we were feeling like, yeah, that's fair enough. I know that a couple of people have been like feeling a little under. I was having a headache earlier, like a really bad headache. So I was like, cool, bad headache day it is. That's why I like started streaming a little later than I normally do, because I was like, what's the point? Like I nearly didn't because my headache was so bad, but then I was like, alright, the headache's kind of subsided. You're just gonna play with dimmer lighting. So my lighting today is a little more darker than it normally is, just because I was like, you're just exhausted. Fair enough. I had it one day where I only had 2.5 hours sleep before work. By the way, worst idea ever. Such a terrible idea. And I was just like, cool, we're gonna do work today on basically no sleep. It wasn't a good day for anyone. Like, I was in a foul mood. Everyone who called, like, all my calls went poorly. It was a very bad day. Kinda like that. I want something else for the hat. No. So, like, it's fair enough that you're feeling exhausted and, like, you need to have good, like, rest. So, like, feel free to, like, go have a lay down, have a sleep. Thank you for stopping by and raiding. I appreciate it so much. And I hope you're feeling better soon. Like, it's not good to be feeling, like, exhausted and out of sorts. It can really throw you off, especially if you have, like, a lot planned for what you're doing in, like, your day or whatever. This is odd music for this, like, kind of moment. I'm like, I hope you're feeling better. Just like, dun, 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 dun. Such a weird day. So I apparently already have the purple boots. Brilliant. What kind of shoes do I want for this moment? Nope. Because I want like black shoes of some kind. Finding the right shoes is half of the battle with these outfits. You know what, we're gonna go with the standard outfit. This is kind of like my base look for this kind of thing, for Darcy. Because I like to make him a little more fancy than the others. Like, look at this. Look at this pixelated glory. He's just vibing. I love that when you like zoom in on them, it's just like pixels, and you're like, great. I love that it turns into the 3DS once you've zoomed in close enough. It's just unintentional zoom turns you back. Hey Buck, how you doing? You having a good day, Buck? Bucky boy? Okay, so we talked both Buck and Buzz. Fist bump? No. It works for you. You're kicking ass with your catchphrase. I'm not looking up a new catchphrase for you today. Sometimes with their catchphrases, when they ask me, hey, I want a new one, I'm like, nah. You love your current one. You wanna know why you love it? Because I'm not feeling like changing it. It's just like a personal, like, nah, you're good, bro. I believe in you. I believe in your catchphrase. You have the power. The power of the catchphrase. I don't know, but I was having a thought to myself, like, I think after, like, about my island, how I'm gonna put a couple more Ghibli elements on it, or change up the way I've put out the Ghibli elements once I flatten this whole thing. I think it has something to do with I got off work at 7 a.m., got home at 7:30, started an oil change on the car as soon as I got out of the car, and then went to clean stuff up in my room, ate a pizza, relaxed for 40 minutes, and then started the stream, basically pushing yourself aggressively. Yeah, no, that sounds like an aggressive kind of a day. That sounds like the kind of a day where you need a nap somewhere in between some of those activities. You know, I'm thinking somewhere between the, like, food and stream, you might have needed a nap. Or between, like, the work and everything else. Because that sounds like a very intense day. Not a bad day, but an intense day. So, like, my day was, like, getting up, having uni, have lunch, go to work for, like, like 4 hours. Normally my work days are, like, 8 hours, but I get, like, half day on Tuesdays and Thursdays for uni. So, yay. So basically it was like a half day, and then I had work for the 4 hours, and then I came home to do some uni work, watch some Twitch, and then I streamed. So a little less intense, but still like a lot of things. Well, yeah, like, my Tuesdays start at 9 a.m. for stream, and I normally do, but because I don't do all this extra stuff, fair enough. Fair enough. I know that, like, I've seen some people who are, like, they had really intense days, and then they did, like, Just Dance, and they're just like, it's killing me. And I'm like, yeah, of course it's killing you. You've had this, like, ridiculously intense day, and you thought, fuck it, let's just dance for, like 8 or 9 hours. We'll be fine. And obviously they weren't. Because that's some, like, Just Dance is very intense as, like, a baseline. This is, like, on its own baseline. So trying to do anything with that, like, after an intense day or, like, lack of sleep is just a terrible idea. Absolutely terrible. Me, for some reason, I had this one day where it was like, I had weird sleep hours. I had 2.5 hours of sleep. I woke up at, like, 7:30 after going to bed at 5. Had a full day of work where I was semi-conscious. I'm gonna go with, like, semi-conscious. And then, like, after the semi-consciousness, I, like, came home, did uni work, did stream, and then didn't go to bed for some unbeknownst reason until 1 a.m. I have no idea how I functioned on that day. I have zero idea. Like, and then I crashed hard on the next day for, like, 12 hours. It's like, your sleep eventually catches up with you. Your body eventually needs the rest. So you will eventually crash. Even people with insomnia tell me that, like, they'll be, like, super awake and fine for days on, like, 2 or 3 hours. Tired, but fine. And then they'll have a day where they just sleep the whole day to catch up. There's, like, no avoiding it. No way out of it. It just happens. And they can't get away from doing it. And I'm like, fair. Absolutely fair. It's just something that occurs on its own. Let's see. Selling. I think... Boop, 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 boop. I'm selling all the fishies. Let's see. But yeah, I decided to go with more Spirited Away, like, elements and change it up. I'm still keeping my massive Totoro, so anyone who, like, goes on my dream address, the Totoro's still there. I'm still gonna keep my Totoro. I'm just gonna move where I place the Totoro on the new dream, like the new layout. I plan to still keep him. I'm not getting rid of him. He's a special part of my island. The Totoro, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know, is it's this. So it's a 4 square creature that I like place near my Kodama and a bunch of soot sprites. You gotta find it. Yeah, Rest. I'm gonna go get that. Yeah, no worries. Thank you for raiding. Thanks for stopping by. You could have a lovely, like, rest and like, sleep it out. And hopefully you'll feel better when you wake up, because it sounds like you had a really intense day. So I hope you feel so much better. Boo, 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 boo. I'm gonna get this fish. This fish is gonna happen. Come on, fishy. I believe in you. Yes, come on. I can catch it. I can catch it. Yes, fish time. The fish has occurred. Do 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 do. Why are you just all, like, hiding out here? They always confuse me, like, where they chose to, like, hide out during the day. Hey, Darcy, which I might copy. Go ahead, Bob. If anyone hears any keyboard clicking, it's because I'm tracking who I've spoken with, because I forget so easily. I'm like, who am I hunting for? And I'm like, well, I think I've seen this person today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So who am I missing? Who haven't I found? It's not Solil. It's Fuchsia. There's always one of them. There's always one of these people hiding. You're like, who have I missed today? Who's not here? And then you're like, oh, it's Fuchsia. It's always Fuchsia. Fuchsia and me, Fuchsia and Kid and Solil are probably the worst 3. They're always the ones that are missing. They're always the ones that are hiding. I can't explain it any easier than that. And, like, they have this habit of, like, easily disappearing. It's nothing personal. It's nothing intentional. And every time you find them, they're just like, oh my god, you found me. They're like Koroks, but, like, they're not hidden on this, like, massive Zelda map. They're hidden on your own island. It's the only advantage to having, like, a super flat island, and that they're so easy to find. You're just like, oh, found you. Colorful shovel. Shovel. We're just gonna put these in Darcy's storage. I don't want to put this over there too. Yeah, we're gonna do that because it's not staying there. Oh boy. Because I need to find Fuchsia, because Darcy here still needs Fuchsia's reactions. So I have to find this very pink deer that's apparently, like, hiding on this island. I'm always like, why is it the ones that are, like, the odd colors? They're not, like, nature colored. They're, like, bright fluoro things, and they're hiding. Peanut, I was trying to find Peanut for, like, a full day. Every chance I got, I was at home the whole day, searching the whole island, trying to find this stupid squirrel. Couldn't find her. Never succeeded at finding her. Still I have no idea where she was hiding. In the end, I ended up, like, just accepting defeat for this one character that, like, couldn't find Peanut. I was like, look, Peanut is not meant to be found today. I've accepted the realities of this, and it's okay. Peanut is obviously just avoiding me. Oh man, some of these brightly colored ones, they just know how to hide. And it's not even like my island is super fluoro. Albeit I do have a lot of flowers, but I'm like, it's not that bad. I should still be able to find you. You should still be able to locate a big purple deer. And I say big in the kindest way possible, of like, she's not like a tiny figurine. She's not one of my hidden gnomes. She's not like secretly hiding. She exists. I know she exists. I just can't find her. There was this one day where I was trying to find one of my villagers. I spent like ages trying to find him. And I like, in the end, I was like, okay, fine. Not meant to find you. I accept it. And they were sitting over here. Like here in this corner. Just like chilling out. And I was like, what are you doing here? Because apparently I didn't think, hey, because this area was almost completely blocked off. There was a staircase to get up here. There's this pathway to go on to get here. There is literally no other way to get up here besides that. So I was just like baffled on how they got up here at all. I'm still baffled because they'll occasionally sneak up into these places and just like hide out. And I'm like, why? What are you doing here, you ridiculous being? It's not like Fauna. Fauna's brown. Like Fauna's a brown deer. She can easily hide. Like, she's not a secret that she can hide easily, because she blends in with half of the houses and all of the trees. Fuchsia, on the other hand, is this hot pink deer. Kid is a dark purple. I've had some of the more like big like animals just like hide out and be like, cool, where are you? Where you at? Where's my deers at? And I just can't find him. I'm like, okay, fine, I accept it, it's fine. Who cares if I can't find you? Peanut is gonna be in there all day. When you time travel, the villager making DIYs, for whatever reason, doesn't change. I don't get why, but they don't. It confuses me on some level. I'm like, okay, fine, don't change. What do I care? It's like I took down my jail bars, and now the balloons just fly wherever, because apparently the stone path thing doesn't do the same thing as the iron bars does, which is divert them. So I'm planning when I do the new land bridge to use the iron thingy to divert them entirely again. Because I'm like, no, you're not coming the whole way across in whatever direction you want. You're going to go through a couple of spaces so I can control where your pathway is. We're just seeing if Fuchsia's in here. Because Fuchsia typically will be in with the fishes if she's here in the museum at all. I'm not even bothering with the bugs. If she's not in here, I'm not meant to find her. I've come to that decision when it comes to these like speeding forward days. If I can't find you in a brief search around the whole island, I'm not meant to find you. I found Sheldon in the shop. Like, even with the fact that like I need the reaction from her. We are like full best friends on this character. So it should be fine. Because it's a basic one. It's not like the high friendship one. You know? So basically each of the villagers, except for my newest ones, are only missing 2 reactions from a different villagers. Which is, perfectly good. But none of them are like, there's not a lot of crossover. It's basically lazy villagers Which is why, like, my next villager I'm replacing them with a lazy. Because normally I was working my way through in, like, an order of, like, inside the first Animal Crossing book, but I'm like, not this time. We're picking a lazy. Like, we're gonna have 2 lazies on the island. Just so we can try and get through some of these, like, reactions that they have. Like, the lazy reactions. Because I have another cranky. I have Kurt and I have Buzz, and they're both crankies. I only need one of them. I don't need 2 crankies, even though I personally love the crankies, and in the end I'll probably have more than 1 cranky, because you're allowed duplicate villagers. And the crankies are by far my least annoying. They're the ones that annoy me the least as a duplicate, because they're the ones that are most likely being common, whereas the peppies can be a little bit much. And sometimes they're just, like, overly cheerful for no reason, and I'm like, why? Why so cheerful? What caused this? This extra pep. Please. I'm gonna think about you. I might use you in the market. So we're gonna drop this stuff in the house, sell some of the things, and find Pascal. Because I've given up on trying to find Fuchsia for him today. But I also gotta do the mail. Because I keep forgetting, apparently, to do the mail on Darcy. I'm like, mail? What's mail? Mail, you say? There is postage included? And then just, like, space on it. Because I think at the point where I reach Darcy, I'm like, all the items are expensive. They all expensive. And I just don't want to spend the money on it. Bob, move. Fine, I'm pushing you this way. Don't look sassy at me, Bob. You're the one who stood there. The sass of Bob, honestly. Bob may be a lazy, but they're a very sassy lazy, you know? The kind where you imagine they'll sneak into your house and steal your snacks. And then be like, you didn't lock the door. So of course I came in to take the snacks. There are snacks. They're the communal snacks now. That's kind of where I'm like, okay, cool, Bob. Thanks, Bob. I'll make sure to, like, remember this later when I need some snackage. That you, like, you know, you took my snacks. And so this is why I'm without snacks. Okay. You're going to go and deal with the machine and the mail, and then Pascal. Because I've accepted that I'm not finding Fuchsia for Darcy today. This hot pink deer. Because they, like, I swear, throughout the day when they rotate through, there's at least one animal that just doesn't load on the map. They just, like, can't be bothered, not happening. Especially when you have a lot of items, I'm convinced that there must be a thing they do. So I apparently didn't use the machine. Oh yeah, no, I remember. Okay, so I thought I was on the wrong day. And I reloaded on Darcy the previous day, so I don't have any mail for the last 3, and they'll all have to start over with the Nook points with the machine again. I remember now. It's all coming back to me. No, I need the... Okay. 1, 2. Need the money first. Oh, boy. Okay. Withdraw. Let's go 400,000 bells. And I can place back the things that I don't need. Because I'm buying a bunch of antique furniture. No shopping. Okie dokie. Antique furniture. Antique clock. That's where I was. 1, 2. On the console table. So I'm pretty sure I had the natural clock already. Okay, cool. Brown, natural. Natural black. Kills. This is one of the first sets that I had everyone fully catalog it. So of course all my villagers have it. It's one of the few sets they all have. Deposit 250. Yeah, that'll leave me a good run of money on this account. Mailed. Okie dokie, we're gonna go and deal with Pascal and find the scallop for this villager today. Where? Boop. Because this is part of my like checklist. It's a little tedious, honestly. It does have a tedium, but there's a point to it. Oh my god. Where the hell was she? What was this? Where were you, Fuchsia? Where were you? Didn't I look through here? Yeah, I looked through here. Well, found her. Great. Laughter. Okay, give me a reaction. Laughter. Oh boy, I don't even know what to say to her after that. I literally looked everywhere for you. Literally. I didn't check 2 sections of the museum, but I looked all over the island. And you were just casually hiding out here. Brilliant. I want to double check that I've spoken to her, that counted as speaking. Come here. Okay, cool. You did just speak me. Brilliant, it counted. I'm never sure if when they like trigger conversation with you, if it counts as them, as you speaking to them, or just as like something else. Woo. Scallop time. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, so from before, my top 5 Ghiblis go Howl's Moving Castle, Grave of the Fireflies, My Neighbor Totoro, especially now that like I've rectified my situation with it, like people try and be like, oh yeah, this is like background lore, when it's actually just like fan theories. Number 4 is Kiki's Delivery Service. I love Kiki. Kiki is such a cheerful movie. Like, to be fair, it does have its like other moments. And like all the movies, even the cheerful ones, do have some like darker moments to like re-ground you. You know, like My Neighbor Totoro with their mom, or Kiki's Delivery Service with like what happens to Kiki. For anyone who has seen the movie, you know. For those who haven't, I don't want to like spoil too much of it for you. Spirited Away is by far probably a bit darker than a lot of its counterparts. And it, like, yeah, it's such a good movie, and it's number 5. After that comes Laputa, Castle in the Sky, Princess Mononoke. I haven't seen the one that's like about the little princess. That's kind of like Thumbelina. It feels a lot like Thumbelina, the story for it. The trailer for it kind of reminds me of Thumbelina. I don't know if the story exactly replicates it. It feels very different to Thumbelina in a lot of ways. I do plan to eventually watch it by like getting the DVD. Porco Rosso really interested me. They apparently had to change some, like a scene in it, between like the original release of it and like later releases of it. They had to edit it. I don't remember what about it was edited or changed, but they had to do something. I think it had to do with like Japan, or like the history of Japan, or the Japanese flag, something in that kind of direction. Which, cool, fair enough. And then After them probably comes Yeti would probably be one next. Yeti is very much just the borrowers. In so many ways, it is basically the borrowers. Like, for anyone who doesn't know the borrowers, it was like a book that I read when I was a kid. And it was made into a movie, an animated movie, and I think there was briefly, a TV show on the same, like, line. I think it was actually a series of movies with the borrowers, because they did one that was, like, the original borrowers, the stuff with them. Then they did a sequel, which was, like, after they fixed the house, and then they did a third one, which is, like, when the family moved. Like, decided to move homes for some reason, like, the house was, like, falling apart, and they had to build a new house, or, like, buy a new house. So they, like, the family decided to, calculate into it, bringing the family, the borrowers, like, with them from memory. Correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone, like, remembers this, and I'm, like, just all wrong. And it's like, no, they didn't exist. That didn't happen. Sorry to break your bubble. Like, fair enough. I'm losing it. I can appreciate that. What wouldn't one do to, like, not lose it, essentially, when it came to that kind of thing? But yeah, like, Yeti essentially is the borrowers. In, like, plot, in, like, the look of the characters, because they were redheaded. In, like, the connection with I think there's, like, a person in area, like, from memory, there's, like, it's very similar. It's been a couple of years since I've watched Yeti. After that, it's all kind of, like, along the same lines. I enjoy the other Ghibli movies, but none of them are, like, in my favorites list. Ponyo is a pretty, like, good one, but I've only seen it, like, it was hard for me to get a hold of it and to watch it initially, so it took me a couple years to actually see the movie Ponyo. My first way of seeing it was seeing, like, an artistic making version, which, like, broke down how they drew each of the characters. I didn't see the actual movie with the full plot till years later. And I haven't seen the one that's, like, the Yamadas, but I actually own a DVD that has them on it. Because I got a deal and got, like, a bunch of their movies all at once. So I think it has the Yamadas on it. I'm pretty sure that's one of their movies. It's like I found out recently the longest running, like, manga, like, anime, is actually, like, a Japanese, like, TV show around, like, a family and all the, like, quirky things they get up to in, like, an average day. Like, I found out, like, that's the one with, and it's been going since, like, the 70s? I'm just fascinated by the whole thing of it. You know? It's both baffling and entertaining, you know? Yeah, so, like, those would probably be my, like, top ones, and so I'm taking elements from Totoro, Kiki, if I can figure out a good way to incorporate the Grave of the Fireflies without it being too depressing, I'll do it. I am gonna try and keep my gravestones. If I have to change which, like, because they all represent a villager who's left previously, like a previously left villager. Before I started doing my photos in Emma's basement. Which actually makes her a good Yubaba. Yubaba, like her house. It works. I'm gonna have a look and, like, make sure that I color her house to match, but basically as long as I have, like, a bridge that goes across to her place, and like a red, like a big red thing, and like something to represent the soot sprites and a couple other things. It should be fine. I gotta plan it out correctly, of course. Make sure it all fits. But I think it should be okay. I'm fascinated to see it like turn into an autumnal thing. I am actually gonna spend some time just moving forward the days. In my own time, or trying to move forward the days. It's a slow process. It's very slow. I've actually passed the day in real, like almost past, I've actually passed the day in real life. So I'm a full year and a month behind in this game. Because it's 2020 on my Switch. It is 2021 in real life. So I'm like, I'm debating just like resetting to like a full year. Just like skipping. I haven't decided yet though, because I feel like that would involve having a lot of cockroaches in my house. In my house. So I might try and like load each day, just pick up the DIYs and move forward the next day. For like a year. I haven't decided. I'm thinking I'll do something like that and like talking to the villagers. Picking up the past, like the pearl. And like a simplified dailies and just move it forward a bunch of days that way and do like nothing else on the island. Besides that, picking up fossils, like a couple of basic things. Just to move forward in time. Because I feel so frozen back here, and I can't even buy like Mario items in the mail. It'd also be a good way of like buying like a bunch of mail items all at once. And then just dumping them all on the other island. Oh boy. Just special. It's a special moment. Plus, I do need a lot of plants, I'm thinking, for my second island when I do start decorating. I have a list of things I gotta order for it. I'll like try and find, rather. See if I can find like a TI or something that has them on it. Or find someone that like has an order bot that I can get it through, because I know there's a lot that are online. I'm definitely cheating with a couple of the items, because some of them are Gulliver items. And I'm like, it's just gonna be a pain in the butt trying to find you all. You know when you like you're faced with that scenario and you're like, away. It's just a special location. We're gonna find Pascal. It's gonna happen. Pascal, where are you, buddy? Come here, boy. Oh, look, it worked. I didn't expect it to work. Oh, boy. I'm never gonna forget that one. Oh, man. Yeah, sure, here you go. Alright, before he says his words of crazy, I'm gonna BRB. I just have to be right back. Bum. I'm back. Okay, some truth. Fail this. When my head gets cold, I put on my hat. My hair appreciates it. Everyone needs a little help now and then. I mean, that isn't the craziest thing I've heard Pascal say. That's not. What did he give me? Pearl X. Oh, we're right in here. So I can drop off the Pearl in Darcy's store and sell all the fishies. But yeah, some people will be like, I'll just step out into the ocean and be like, bam. Here's Pascal. And other times you gotta like coax him out with like a here boy. Here Pascal, buddy. I need to do one more fish. Because I'm not gonna get most of these for the day. That's okay. But I wanna get the fish. Because I don't bother all the time with all of them unless it's like a 5x1 sometimes. If I'm feeling special. But the thing is, most of them have like 300,000 points. So it's kind of a moment of like, I don't really need to bother with it too much, you know? I also want to pick the perfect weather day to save my dream address out, I think. Like, I want to make sure I find a good weather day. Because if it's the permanent one for the dream address for like an extended window of time, because I will flatten the whole island, you want the dream address to be good all around. Like in weather, in like everything. So I'm going to try and make sure I find a good day in August, preferably one that has rain on it. So it needs to be a day that has rain just once. And save before the rain. I also need to go through all the outfits. And I think add in some, I think I'm taking out one of the yukata and the head, and I'm putting in something else because I don't think it fits. Or I'm adding in a kimono. I think I was adding in a kimono. Like one kimono. So I think that's what I was doing. So I think I was taking out one of the umbrellas. So I think I was going to find an umbrella, and I was going to put them all in the same wrapping paper. If I had to, I was going to take this out. This little mountain thingy here, and place it somewhere else. Just so I could put in a couple extra items. Why is this thing sideways? Didn't realize that thing was sideways, place. Might go over a little bit. Manhole covers are kind of a minor pain to place perfectly. Because, you know, you gotta find just the right spot. But, you know what, I might move that to over here. This one here, so then I can just put an extra, like, an extra kimono, and 2 kimonos down, like normal-ish kimonos. I think I mailed them to George. The question is, where do I want to put this? I'm gonna put it here. Yeah, I want to put it there, kinda. Nope, we're gonna put it over here. Okay, turn. Manhole cover. Place. Nope. I gotta put the bamboo shoot back. These manhole covers are just special cookies. Because you gotta stand in the right spot, to place it in the right spot. And they're not easy to move. Like, you can't move them. Like everything else. Although you can also move the coins. The coins are things that you also can't move. And it's like, okay, cool. That's your home now. You enjoy it here. Is there anything else? No, that's everything I had to do on Darcy's. Woo. But yeah, so I have space for 2 more kimonos that I bought that I think are in George's storage. And they're either in George or Campbell's, and I gotta place them out. And I gotta change over the head bobble thing. I have Star Bobber, right? But I don't have a good, like, headpiece for the other 2 outfits. Like, the other 2 kimonos I want to put out. Because they just... the headpiece I have out is blue. But the outfits I want to put out are pink. And pink and something else. So I'm just like... I gotta change it. Because I don't need a blue head bobber when none of the outfits are blue. I think it was just like the one that was extra left over, so I gotta buy one in the mail to ship it. To like place it out. Like it just has to be done. You know, where you like look at a thing and you're like, yeah. There is work to be done here. And it shall be done in a variety of ways. And so you're just like, onward to the changes. It's just a special kind of a thing. Alrighty. So this is the last one, the second last villager. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop here because it's 1:40 now, and I have to get up in the morning to like. We're gonna listen to the in-game music for a minute. So I have to get up at like 7 a.m. like 7:30 in the morning, so I'm gonna have just like 6 hours to sleep. I'm just gonna check this person out a sec, see if they're still going or if they're ending. And of course, an ad. I swear, every single person I get who, like, I'm not subbed to, there's been so many more ads lately. But the ads mean almost nothing. Like, AdSense is practically nothing unless you have, like, 1 billion people. I watched this guy called, like, this videos from a guy called Hassan, and he's always like, top of the hour, ad break time. I'm like, but he gets, like, 30,000 people per stream. And he's like, if you don't want to watch it, sub. And so his AdSense makes sense to him, because it's his income and, like, fairly good money. Okay. Okay, yeah. We're gonna raid to them. I understand for your lurking. It's perfectly fine. You can stick around lurking. But if you would like to share the raid message as well, here it is. Thank you everyone for like being here and hanging out with me today. I know that like it's a weird hour, so I get like it's like the DGen hour, which is, you know, it's fine. I enjoy it just as much as anyone else. And I appreciate anyone who like comes along and hangs out with me and is lurking, because I know the people who lurk get a bad rap, but not here. I appreciate all of you lurkers. I appreciate all the people who chat. I appreciate anyone who even stops by to check me out and check a follow or not. You're all lovely human beings, and you're all part of the Bear Cave whether or not you're a follower or not. So I appreciate you guys being here and coming along. Now I will be streaming again on Thursday, and I'm going to be on time this time. I'm going to start in the scheduled time I say in my about section. I will be here. am determined because I won't have any more assessment. I should have all my assessment written and done by then, so I will be streaming at the time I say I'm going to. So I appreciate it. Hope you guys have fun with Emmanuel. He seems lovely. So, bye. See you next time.